life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or Digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. You know what it is? Hey, Ham, it's time, baby. Low, it's time how we do. Hey. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Cause you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of the Lowdown on TSWS Gaming. I'm your host, Loke7, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Ham Solo 05, and the man that licks games himself, Mr. Matt Likes Games. Welcome in the Ginner, Vincent Vega, Raichi, always early. Thank you so much for coming in here. Ham, how you doing? What you been playing?
Clear Obscure, lots of it.
Man.
For good and not great reasons.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
Details. Do tell, sir.
So yeah. I really enjoy that game. The combat's awesome, the story's awesome. Like a lot of great things about it. Excuse me, I'm like super tired today. But like, anyways, I had a game-breaking bug happen, and like I got to level, I want to say like 31 or 33 or something like that, and half of my players just disappeared. It was like right when I was fighting like Renoir.
Yep. That's pretty deep in the game.
Yes, it was very deep into the game, and I was devastated because like I went to go fight him, and I noticed, I was like, hey, it's just male in Verso. Like, where's a third person for the battlefield, right? And then I died as both of them, and it didn't give me the regroup option or the like send in like reinforcements or whatever, right? Like it does when your people go. So then I was like, huh, that's weird. So I did the fight again. Same thing happened. And then I just sent in mail, right? Just like, all right, well, let me see what happens if I just send in mail. I sent in mail. And then after she died, because it was just her versus Renoir, and that was horrible. That ended quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I can see it.
And I survived a little bit, right? And check this out. This is gonna actually surprise you a little bit. I got about halfway into the battle with Mail. Just with Mail by itself, right? I was... Bro, like when I tell you that I got used to...
You got him halfway.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when I got used to the handicap.
That's crazy.
I was just like my whole idea was like, if I beat this part, maybe everything will
come back to normal.
Exactly, yeah. Right? Everything will go back to normal. So I got about halfway into the fight with Mail, and she died, and I was devastated. I was like, no. Like, it's halfway there, damn it. There's a little thing that he does halfway that really pisses you off in that fight. Especially if you don't take care of the exterior fight, the exterior, not really fighters, but there people, right? The side people during that fight. Ah, man, when she went down, 3 people came into the match, and I was like, "Oh snap! I got my people back." That's what I was thinking, right?
Okay.
I was like, "I got my people back. Sweet, I'm good to go." So then I got to the last couple of hits of Renoir, and I died. So I was livid, right? I was like, I almost got it. I almost fixed it and got everything back. That would have been sweet. I went back to fight him, and I threw Verso back in. And then when they both died, I didn't get my regroup again. And I was like, God dang it. Like, what is wrong with this game? Eventually, and then also, might I add, whenever I just use Verso, it wouldn't allow me to bring my backup team in as well. So it was only when I used Mael, it allowed me to bring backup in.
Jeez.
Crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy bug. But I figured it out enough to where I got Mael to get him low enough to over halfway down. So I was really into this. I was into this fight for like 2-3 hours, right? Just hot and angry and wanting my thing to be fixed. I ended up beating Renoir after Mael died, and I used the last 3 characters. I stomped them.
Yeah.
So used to like
finishing touches
and everything, right? I beat him. My game's still broken. I go back to the camp. It's only Mael and Verso. But whenever I went to a cutscene, everybody was there. So I knew something was wrong with my game. I ended up starting over, and now I'm past where I was. I thought my plan was I'm just going to play it in story until I catch back up to where I was, and I'll put it back on normal, right?
Yeah, because you can change the difficulty at any point.
At any point, right.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it, but I left it on normal the entire time. So I played it back. I'm stronger than I was, but I have about 7 hours less in the game than I did by the time I got to the same point.
Okay.
But like I think a lot of that is skipping scenes that I already seen.
You already knew what was up, yeah?
Yeah, I already knew what was up. And also I was playing with a vengeance, right? I was mad. So like I already knew all these combinations of all these other people. They asked me if I needed the tutorial at the beginning. I was like, no. Nope. Don't tell me nothing. Just put me in front of this sucker. And I was just flipping people.
So how far you
okay, just to give you an idea. So if you played the game, I'm not gonna. If you haven't played the game, I won't spoil it. But like, if you have, you'll know where I'm at. Let's see. I just destroyed a big time the leader mask. One of the mask leader guys.
Gotcha. I think they're called Exons or something.
The last person that talked in the battle was is her name Shale or Shell or
CL?
CL, yeah. CL came through and said some like epic, very, metaphorical type of shit, right? At the end of the fight. And that's where that's what I did last. It was a 2-part fight.
All right.
Which you learn a lot of the bosses end up being kind of like
that happens often.
It happens often. It's kind of a soulsy kind of thing that you see, right? Like you get that kind of same feeling in Elden Ring where you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, it took me so much to do this.
Remember the last fight? Like did you like you beat Elden Ring, right?
Yes, I beat it.
So you remember the last fight before the whale, the fight before that fight was tough.
Jesus.
And then you had
That
to go
guy
against
just
the
would
whale right
not
after.
go
And you're
down.
like when you first beat that first guy, you're like, I beat the game.
Hell
I beat
yeah.
the game.
You're like,
And
I'm
then
good.
the whale comes out and you're like, no.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
whale is way worse than the first.
Way worse. Like the whale on the Elden Ring, like since we're being honest, we tried to be as honest as possible here. It took me, no lies, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of consistently
Matt, didn't it
going
take you a
in.
minute too?
What, the final battle where it's like you fight the guy and then that beast, the
No,
elder
no,
beast?
just the
big
beast.
whale
Just
thing,
the
yeah.
beast. How long did that take you? It took me 2 weeks.
So I made the mistake of playing that with friends because I thought it would be easier because I was already playing the bosses with friends at that point. And then I realized quite late that if you play it by yourself, it's actually easier. The bosses that are actually easier. So I did that. I got my ass kicked. I don't know. I don't think it took me crazy long, but I got my ass kicked a lot. It was like a couple of days.
It took you crazy long for the boss that was stomping.
Yes, so for me, it
The
wasn't
two
so
bosses
much.
before that boss.
For me, it wasn't
Is that
so much.
Radagon? Is that Radagon?
Yeah, I think it's Radagon, the dude who just like he has an attack where he just stomps and stomps and stomps, and
Yeah, then there's
you
one
pretty
way he charges you. He's just
yeah,
fucking bareless,
you're pretty
shirtless.
much screwed. Like once he starts stomping, if you miss a dodge on one
That's
of the
it.
stomps, you're pretty much screwed.
And I don't
So
care how much you've leveled up your health. That fight will humble
dude,
you.
tell me about it, because Ham knows, dude. My character on Elden Ring was like fucking almost like a level 200 from just
Jeez.
from just farming, dude. Like just a fucking ridiculous sized health bar.
I
And
thought I was farming.
that's the
Okay.
only way I was able to beat that game. But yeah, for me it wasn't so much the last two bosses back to back as much as it was the couple bosses before that were the really hard ones. Like it took me a couple tries. It took me like all day of trying to go through the bosses and beat the Elden Beast, but it wasn't nearly as hard for me as the fucking couple bosses before that were.
So you beat the Elden Beast in a day.
About a day. Because I remember I was in a party with I think everybody was still playing Elden Ring at that point. It was like April after the game released, and I just like I was disheveled, dude, because they were trying to help me beat this thing, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just do it by myself because it'll be easier, and got my ass kicked a couple of tries, but eventually I beat it, and I was fucking ecstatic.
All right.
I was
One day.
ecstatic about that.
Ham, how long did it take you to beat the Elden Beast? Ham, I think you're muted.
I want to say like 80 hours, 80, 88.
No, not Elden Ring. Just the final boss in Elden Ring.
Oh. I don't know. I remember of the group. Vinny was like the first one to beat it, and I was one of the next ones. I think I was the next one that beat it. I beat that game pretty quick.
You guys suck.
Well, like I wouldn't
guys.
say 80 hours is like quick, but I mean like I got through a lot of the bigger bosses, and I remember like I felt like I was actually pretty good at that game. I remember Matt telling me a few times like I was fucking nailing some shit. So
Yeah.
but like I mean I wouldn't say like I was. I'm not like these streamers out here that they're like crushing it and doing it with no armor or anything. Like I had my cheese
Or using a flute.
Yeah, right. Like I had like my cheese weapons, but
Or bananas.
also, like I figured out the parry, or not the parry, but the dodge skill pretty well eventually.
I
like,
struggle
the
with the
last
dodge.
boss. You asked how long that took me to beat.
Yeah.
I'd say That boss took me less time to beat than Melania did. And I beat it solo. I think it was around, if I'm being honest, around like anywhere between 7 to 10 times before I actually beat the whole thing. Because I beat the first guy like after 1 or 2 tries, and I was ecstatic after I beat him. I thought I beat the game, and then that sent me back about like 7 more tries. I remember after that because I was just disheveled.
Yeah. Well,
It was anywhere between like 10. I'd say between 7 and 12 tries, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I speak for the chat when I say that both of you guys suck. You guys
You know,
are talking about beating Elden Ring like it's just any old game,
you
and
know
some of
what's
us are trying to
funny?
beat it for a year now. It's not funny, Matt. It's really not. It's
But it is
depressing.
funny. You know what's funny?
It's depressing.
Let me
Okay.
tell you what's funny, Luke. Is the Elden Beast was actually to me a lot easier than the dude I fought before that. The first fight.
I think a lot of people had those situations, right? Like the worst person I fought for that entire game was Godskin Duo.
Dude, fuck Godskin Duo.
Hated
Oh yeah, those guys
the
sucked. Those
Godskin
guys suck.
Duo. I remember Malachi, but I pretty much whooped his ass after like my 3rd or 4th try.
That transformation threw me for a loop. I beat
That transformation
his
I thought was amazing, but I didn't think it was that. It didn't really help him versus me.
It helped him versus me because I beat the first, like his first phase. I beat him, like I didn't even fail. Like the first time I saw him, I was like, "Oh, this guy is cool." I beat him, no problem. And then he transformed, and I was stuck there for like a day or two. Just beat the first one and then fail on the transformation. Beat the first one, fail on the transformation. But here you and Matt are like, nah, Elden Rings, it's all right.
Well,
It's kind of difficult.
keep in
It's
mind
okay.
also that I'm not a Souls player and I was a mage, and I definitely took advantage of that, and I'm not afraid to say that I did that.
I'm a Souls player, and I was playing as an archer. Getting my ass beat.
Well, that's sounds like a bad time. Play as an archer in that game. Maybe I'm
Well,
sure you knew things.
I'm
I'm sure
pretty
you knew things
patient.
I didn't know. Yeah, I'm sure you knew
I'm
things
pretty
I didn't
patient.
know. But
I'm
Yeah,
telling
there's
you
certain
that
like arrows and bows that can help, but fuck, does it make the game difficult?
I'll never forget the god damn it. I think it was like the Sword of Night and Flame.
Mm-hmm.
That was
mm,
the sword that I
well,
used for like 80% of that game until
same.
later, until I got a few other weapons that were. Wait, there's a staff that I got too that was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That went with that whole mage outfit that you end up getting. But yeah, there was a few weapons that had me, redo my. Another boss that I remember having kind of a difficult time on was the one where it's like a bunch of puppets essentially, and then it turns into like you fighting on a lake, and it's versus a woman.
Oh,
Renala?
yeah.
Renala,
I
is
think
that
Regala.
what
it's
you're talking about?
Regala. Like I think I had
Regala?
that was probably one of my most frustrating fights, just because of the tight space that the fight started in. I felt like it was kind of tight because there was like areas to hide behind and stuff like that, and sometimes you'd lose her.
Yeah. And you take damage even if you were behind a wall. That was fun.
Exactly.
That was
It
very
was
fun.
great.
You know, the hardest boss on that game for me, I thought it was Godfrey, but now that I'm looking at this list, it was probably Fire Giant. It was probably
Oh
the
yeah,
hardest
Matt
boss.
had a bad time versus the fire.
Bro,
Really?
that fight took me like a couple of days, because I remember trying it like all night one night, didn't get it,
Nothing.
and I tried it most of the night the next night, and
Jeez.
eventually I got it.
He was a bitch. He was big. Like when he rolled, it sucked.
It was a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
that fight.
Yeah.
It was hard to gauge
right.
when to roll when he rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So apologies everyone. We're talking about Clay Obscure and then it rolled into Elden Ring. Real quick before we
That boy
go.
took up a lot of real estate. That's for real.
That's true. That's true. The Guinness says, just sat here soapy in the bath, waiting for Ham and Loke to grace my screen.
Wow.
The Guinness.
I don't know.
Listen, the Guinness.
I feel like
when
we're
we
supposed
started,
to like bring some candle wax and like.
you know what? I'm starting to think we need to have more camera time.
Let's heat up some
Yeah.
essential oils.
Yeah, water-based oils. Ham, seriously,
lubricant.
The Guinness. When me and Ham started this channel, right? When me and Ham started this channel, it was my dream not to get invited to a PlayStation or Xbox or Kojima event. That was not my dream. My dream was to literally have people not just take time, but actually mark time to be like, from X time until X time, I'm just going to be on TSWS. And that's my priority for today from like 7 till 9, for example. That was my dream. And whether you're doing it soapy in the bath or driving your car or you're at work or whatever, just hearing that people are making time for us, that's amazing for me. For me, that's fucking awesome. Anyways, welcome in the Guinness, Vincent Vega, Ray Chi. Fuzzy says, Ham, sounds like it's a skill issue about your Clear Obscure situation. Welcome in, Oshis.
What? That doesn't even make any sense.
I'm thinking
let me add a little bit more context to this.
I'm thinking it's a joke, Ham.
Sure, but I want to add a little bit more context just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I like how you spelled lube.
Yeah. He did that on purpose. He's doing that on purpose.
But anyways,
is nasty.
Man, absolutely foul. But I couldn't level up any of the characters that like when I went into Battle versus Renoir and I had my after Male died and I had those other 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
At no point could I ever level them up again. Like when I went back to the base, it like I said, it didn't recognize that they were ever even part of my group. So like I couldn't level them up. I couldn't level up their weapons. I couldn't talk to them to increase relationships. Couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do is talk to the that big guy that we fly around with. And talk to Verso or Male, I guess, or vice versa. Those are the only 2 options that I had after my game got that breaking bug and whatnot. And I told my buddy Slow-Mo Backslap. I told Slow-Mo Backslap, right, what happened because he's really enjoying that game. And this man, I don't know who he thinks I am, but he's like, did you try to load a previous save? I was like, what kind of fucking question is that?
Is it like when I told you, did you try to restart your PC?
Exactly. It's the exact same thing. I'm like, who the hell is this Verizon ass
my grandma
service motherfucking
my
talking?
Grandma.
Who does he
I
think
think
he's
my
talking
grandma.
to? Right? You asked me if I restart my router. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Of course. Like, I do this shit on a regular basis. What do you mean did I check my load saves? What kind of fucking question is that? And then guess what?
I am struggling right now.
And then I told him,
yeah,
yo, man, I'm almost caught up to where I'm at, to where I was, right? I sent him a picture showing, and he was like, yo, I got this game breaking bug where my second screen on my PC keeps changing resolution, which my wife was talking about, which is funny. But he couldn't fix it for his game, and it'd keep messing up the way his game looked as well, right? And he was like, yo, man, I had the game breaking bug. I have to restart just like you. And you know what I asked him?
Yeah.
Did you check your load saves?
Oh
Motherfucker?
my god.
You check your loads?
Okay.
And he laughed right back at me. I was like, stupid question. like, what the fuck?
It's worth getting upset over.
But yeah.
Sergeant Sentinel, welcome in. Retro up the villa, welcome in. What's this? Sergeant says trying to catch more podcasts. Too much BS on Twitter is distracting me.
That's a fact.
I have one or two things that are part of the BS on Twitter. Before we get into the Call of Duty stuff, which is the headline for today, Ham, you can make this as quick as or as long as you'd like. Matt, you can also make your response as quick or as long as you like. So we'll go with Matt first.
Over there.
Yep. Matt, damn, you swallowed very loudly there. I heard you swallow. Anyways.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Matt, you can rewind. Your swallow is actually pretty loud. Anyways, I was saying, Matt.
Goodness gracious.
Xbox Game Pass cannibalizing sales of Clay Obscure and other games. Clay Obscure.
Cannibalizing sales of
this is
Clay
the
Obscure.
latest.
That's...
This is the latest that it's been brought up, but it's a continuing saga. Go ahead.
By who?
By a lot of people on social media.
A lot of people on social media, are fucking stupid. To be honest, they sold like 1 million copies in like a couple of days.
2 days.
That's not cannibalizing sales. If I go here, just to kind of slam the point home, I'm gonna go to Amazon.com real quick and see if this is still true, because I know my buddy Twan was telling me that it very much was true when he tried to do it. If I go into Amazon and look for Clay Obscure Expedition 33. Expedition 33. Oh, it's back in stock. Well, that's good news.
I saw
because
that it
for a
wasn't.
while, it was out of stock.
They even had to come out and make a statement about that.
So, like, no, actually, right now it says still temporarily out of stock. So I'm wrong.
It's still out of stock. Okay.
Is it out of stock for just PlayStation?
Even on Xbox, I know exactly what you're about to say. Even on Xbox, because it said PS5.
He's like, boy, shut the fuck up.
It's PS5 is temporarily out of stock, and then I went over to Xbox to check, and it says temporarily out of stock.
Okay,
they don't even have stock of the game. So this idea that Game Pass has ruined the launch for this game and is cannibalizing sales is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm sure we'll do it again whenever whatever else launches into Game Pass this year or next year or the year after that. It's just a dumb argument.
Like Doom, for example, when we find out it sold 1 million copies on PlayStation and PC.
Dude, people seem to forget. Like, for all the shit that Xbox takes, of like, your platforms and last, like, all the shit that they take for that, there's this idea, for some reason, that when a game launches in Game Pass, oh my god, nobody's gonna buy it. Well, nobody's on the fucking platform, according to you guys. Like, in order to play the game on other platforms, you have to buy it.
Yeah.
So
two things can't be true.
The idea that like Game Pass is going to cannibalize anything. How many Series X's and Series S's are out in the wild right now? Like less than 40 million? Like and it's going to cannibalize everything. No, it's just dumb. That's really dumb.
All right.
The
Matt's
game
not buying
is
it.
doing great.
All right. Matt's not buying it. Raichi says Xbox Game Pass is the close second reason of world hunger, just behind the Series S. I see what you did there, Raichi, and I respect your game. Sergeant Sentinel says, I think that's a convenient excuse for those that don't have access to Game Pass.
Yep.
Is it hateration?
It is.
Ham, is it hateration?
100%. No. And I'll tell you why. I'm actually happy that you opened up my moment to speak with saying that, because that's actually the direction that I'm taking right now. Because
Damn.
if you listen, all the people that tell you that this is the issue are the same people that don't support the platform. So to hear you tell me how worried you are for Xbox cannibalizing itself, you're the same person saying nobody plays on Xbox. Wait, so then it's in Game Pass and a lot of people are playing it, and then as Matt just got done saying, it's sold out physically. And let's also keep in mind that this was a handshake agreement between both companies. So as each of these people are coming out saying, oh, it's bad for Xbox, and then another bunch of people are saying, oh, Sandfall really screwed up by putting their game on the service for Xbox. It's just like, it's kind of weird, because every day both companies are saying how proud they are of the game. And I imagine Xbox is happy to have had it on Game Pass, because a lot of people are playing it and getting into the service based off of something like that. And I'm sure it wasn't expected by some of the people within that company that it was going to explode the way that it did. I don't think anything that ever explodes like this is expected. Like, right? You hope for it, but you don't expect it. I just find it really weird. Like, I don't understand the point in saying that, hey, this is cannibalizing sales and not good for the company. What are you guys doing? And then you're like, no, did you support? Did you buy it over there? And they're like, no, I don't even like that console. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're worried about what other people are thinking and doing with their money. The company's happy with what they did. The people that made the game are happy with the choice that they made. Everyone's getting money, but for some reason, someone that has nothing to do with the situation, the pocketbook, they're not even in the service, let alone even the platform. They say it sells better on PC and PlayStation, forgetting that Game Pass is on PC too. Why isn't it being cannibalized on PC? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're saying it's cannibalized on Xbox, then it's cannibalized on PC, because it's on Game Pass and Game Pass is on PC.
Makes
but that's
no
not
sense.
the case.
You want to know what's funny is as you guys were talking, I looked back over at this Amazon page. Frequently bought together with Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is Atomfall, another game in Game Pass. So, is it hurting everything? Is it hurting sales? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
And just another point to bring on, the people that a lot of people that are playing it in Game Pass, including like somebody like Matt or even myself, to be honest, there is no there was no certainty that this game was gonna get bought for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty sure. I was was gonna get this game.
Sure, and
Yeah, you.
exactly right. But I'm saying like as
Yeah,
a
it's not
person
the cup
like
of tea
myself
of
that's
most
not
gamers.
huge into turn base, right?
Yeah.
Matt's not either. There's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, I saw a lot of
This-
people as soon as they saw the aesthetic and they're like, "Oh, nice." Then they found out it was turn based and they're like, "Ah, I'm out." A lot of people had that reaction.
A lot of people
Yep.
had that reaction, but a lot of people also had that Elden Ring reaction to it. To where it's like, oh, finally a turn-based game that I can get into.
That isn't in school. It's not in anyone's school. There's no children. It's grown ass adults.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of smoke
Story.
about that. Osha says you can't cannibalize. There ain't anything to cannibalize. Everyone is getting money except the Xbox hardware division. Those ninjas eating scraps. Again, that's not my problem, bro. I feel like this whole discussion is just on one half, you have people that just want to get access to as many video games as they can, as cheaply as they can. And then on the other side, you have a lot of people that are concerned about companies. And I guess
That
I'm
don't
old
make any
fashioned.
sense.
I guess I'm old fashioned, but I was raised to not give a fuck about any company unless it was my company. Because I was also raised to know that there's no company in existence that genuinely exists to help people. That doesn't exist. But here we are. Ty says it hurts sales for sure, but meeting not to the extent people think. Even at that is paid for already. Yeah, exactly. The devs get paid before the game even gets to Game Pass. Everyone.
Which is
very
that's
interesting.
insane that that's still in question. Like it's insane that it was in question ever, but it's even more insane that 5 years later it's still in question.
That's also another thing is they got paid before any of us got to play it.
They got
Like
paid
way
before we
before.
heard about it.
Yeah, way before that. So imagine how much of that money probably went into making that game better. Like, being real, it's their first game. Like, I mean, think about how much money went into making Atomfall what it was, or I don't know, pick a game from any third party that launches day one in the game. Like, that's money that you would then use to make your game better, which in turn makes people want to buy your game. Like, I don't understand why. I don't know why this conversation still exists. I don't know how it's still something that happens.
It's dumb.
It's
dumb.
It confuses me.
Sour Blow, welcome in. Oh my God, Sour Blow says Lakers in 5. Yes, it's over.
Lakers in 5. What?
It's done. We're going to lose in 5. It is what it is.
I mean, hey, at least you got one, right?
Oh my God! You know what? We didn't get swept. We did not get swept.
At least you're not the Heat.
That was rough.
I'll tell you that.
I think they were losing by like 40 or 50 halfway through.
They almost lost by 60, but they got hot at the end and lost by 55.
They got hot at the end. Yep. Matt, stop it. It was. That
was a great game. Ham knows. I was in a good mood. mood.
Yeah. You know what? When I was watching the Cavs, I was thinking, you know what, Matt is going to watch this until the last fucking whistle.
Yep.
Matt
and you're right.
He's going to enjoy this one.
And I watched highlights right after it just to relive.
Come on, you just watched the game. All right.
Just to relive.
All right. Do you guys have any smoke about the Lakers? Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah. Actually, I do.
God damn it! Make it quick, Ham. Make it quick.
Luka Don, LeBron, strong.
You know, they did
LeBron's
score
football.
lots of points. They killed it. The rest of the team
You're
sucked.
going home, Wolves and 5.
That's crazy that you guys got Luka Doncic and LeBron James, and you guys lost to the Wolves,
And nothing else.
who've been kind of
We have
struggling
nothing
all.
else.
Oh, we don't have anything else but Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Oh, we're a poverty franchise. Oh, insane. That's insane. Look.
Oh my God.
That's like the Bulls saying we only got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. That's stupid.
You know what? If we had three all-star caliber players, we'd actually
You're telling
won
me
that
that
game.
Austin Reeves wasn't playing like an all-star the last half of the season?
No,
Is that what
tell you
last
what.
half of the season, but he isn't an all-star.
Okay. Well, why is
Just
that? Is it
remember-
because
Just
you guys
remember
choked?
what Kobe did with less, okay? Just remember
Exactly.
what
God
Kobe
damn
did
it! God
with
damn it!
less.
No, he did not. When he won with Powell, everyone wants to pretend Ron Artest wasn't there. Everyone wants to pretend that B Fish wasn't there.
I'm not
Everyone
talking
wants to
about winning a
pretend that
championship.
Lamar
I'm
Odom
talking
wasn't
about
there.
getting to the
No.
playoffs in the first round. Kobe did better
Yeah.
with less.
I mean, look, Kobe
Okay,
was in the
that's true.
playoffs with
That's true.
Kobe was in the playoffs with Smush Parker. So, I mean, like,
And Shannon, don't forget Shannon.
I don't even know who Shannon is. Shannon Sharp? Who's Shannon?
You don't want
What
to
you
know.
talking about?
You don't want to. Like Lakers
Shannon
fans
Brown?
know who I'm talking about. Lakers know who I'm talking about. It was.
You talking
it
about
was
Shannon Brown? Is that who you're talking about?
yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know.
It was bad.
I
It was
mean-
bad. All right, fine.
No, it
You
was
guys shat on
horrible.
the Lakers.
It was
You
horrible.
guys shat on the Lakers.
Yeah,
Let's
Jeremy
move-
Lin.
Actually,
Bud,
That
Jeremy
was
Lin.
really pathetic.
okay. Last one.
The
Last
Jeremy
one. Then we
Lin
have to get into
Lakers.
Call of Duty.
Pretty hot.
Welcome in IMAX. Said 57. Get it right if you're going to troll. Matt, I think that one's for you. You said 55. It's 57.
55, 57. Oh my God, did we win by 57? We didn't win by
These
57. It was
Cleveland,
55.
these
I'm gonna look at
Cleveland
the
fans.
score.
This is what happens, right?
I'ma look
When
at
you
the
spend
score.
30 years in just lost land. This is what happens.
Yeah, I'm
This is
pretty
what
Well,
sure.
your team literally just got pushed. Shut the fuck up with your poverty ass franchise. Get out of here with that. I don't
All
want
right.
to hear
Speaking
that
of
one.
poverty, before we go to the Lakers,
You know
what do
what's funny, Loke, is so far.
What?
Oh, never mind. No, you're good. Never mind.
All right. I was saying, speaking of classless, the most classless act happened yesterday with the Indiana Pacers versus the Bucks. Did you guys see Tyrese Halliburton's father charge Giannis and start taunting him and shouting at him and swearing at him on the court? Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I saw a thumbnail of it. I didn't watch the video.
I've
Was
seen
he
it.
drunk?
It was-
What was wrong with him?
who knows?
He wasn't
But either
drunk.
way, it
He
was
wasn't drunk.
pretty trash.
Go ahead, Em. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
that's
Em.
shit.
It was just trash. It just further makes Halliburton look a lot like what people were feeling about.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are feeling like he's kind of an arrogant piece of shit, and then you see his dad literally be a piece of shit, and it's like, oh, okay,
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
yeah.
Usually I just present the topics and then I throw it to you guys to swing. But I have to comment on this one. That was the most classless thing that I have ever seen a fan do in an NBA game. His
Especially a
father already
parent
came out.
of another player. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Usually, like
wasn't
that.
a random fan.
Usually, that's like because like I've seen things like I remember when like Durant was like beefing with somebody else, right? And like Durant's mom was in the crowd,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like it was
remember
all
that.
love. They understood it was just basketball, and like Durant even like laughed afterward because he was just like, Mama's my mom was looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it came off as like fun and like, oh, this is wholesome basketball. Yesterday, it was just some ratchet ass shit. Like,
That was some ghetto ass shit.
it was, man, and it wasn't it. And Giannis looked kind of bad, but like when you get when you get your facts straight, you're like, all right, dude, like,
yeah. We're lucky he didn't swing on him or do anything.
Yeah. These
he'd have killed him.
Yeah.
That's
true. I'm watching this right now. I'm like, maybe I missed it, but like, dude, imagine you're at your son, who is a star point guard for the Indiana Pacers. You're at the game.
And he just hit the winning shot. Yeah,
he wins the game, and your first reaction isn't to go give him a hug, go like congratulate him, go hang out with him. Your reaction is to go over to Giannis and say, "Hey, fuck you, bud." Imagine that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's unhinged. That's not good.
Yeah,
like Am said,
that's the definition of like sore winner right there.
Yeah,
that's some loser shit. That is
like you're acting like you shouldn't be there.
He really is.
You're showing us you shouldn't be here, and that goes to my next point. I think the NBA should ban him.
Oh, at least the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, the rest of the playoffs, you don't get into any arena, because if they let this guy slide, then every parent knows they can just do whatever. Because my son plays for this franchise, especially if he's one of the star players. So like Kawhi's dad can now act up. Steph's daughter can now just do some wild ass shit when the next time they win. They never just supposed to be like, oh, that's the trend. That's what's acceptable. And to end it, Ham, you said the perfect word. That was some ratchet ass shit. That's what that was.
You think?
And Tyrese Halliburton's gonna have to carry this for the rest of his life. Matt, Ham, can you imagine? Next round, next year, anyone that, dude, for the rest of his career, anyone that's going at him can now be like, "What's your dad gonna do to me? Is your dad not gonna run up on me?" Like, and someone can say that, and Tyrese has nothing he can say. Nothing, because your dad literally does that. That's crazy, bro.
That's you gotta be like, people. I don't know. I feel like people are just way too comfortable. Like, that's another thing. Imagine how comfortable you have to be to go to as a dude who looks. I mean, he might be 5'11", maybe 6 foot. Imagine
you're
just
giving him a lot of inches, bro. I think he's like 5'5".
Okay, so imagine being that comfortable. You're 5'5", that you're gonna go up to and put your head up against Giannis and talk
shout
shit
at this guy.
You must know that if something happens, you're well taken care of. You have to be very comfortable because, dude, all it takes is for Giannis. I mean, he's already having a bad day. What if Giannis? What if it was like the end of his career, and Giannis was like, you know what? Fuck it. And he just beats the shit out of this old man. Like,
he'd only need like 2 punches. He'd only need 2 punches.
Exactly.
I'd like to see that dad do that to Draymond.
Oh, dude, Draymond would fucking rip him in half. Draymond would tear him in half, dude. Because Draymond doesn't have, like, Giannis controlled himself very well right there. I don't think Draymond would be able to do that.
No.
That's too bad.
I'd like to see even better Isaiah Stewart. I'd love to see him do that.
Oh, dude, because Isaiah Stewart's not a star. He's not.
Isaiah Stewart would lose his job immediately. He'd be
Isaiah Stewart would be out the league.
He'd make a song about it afterwards too.
Fuck yeah, dude. He'd be out the league and he'd go overseas to play or something, but he would be out of the NBA if that happened to him. Because he would fully attack that guy.
I can only imagine him watching the game being like, look at this shit.
I wish you'd have done that to me.
He probably
Yes.
trying to get past his friends just to get closer to the TV.
Yeah.
Let me get TV. Let me check this shit out.
Man.
Wish a
It'd be
motherfucker
like,
would talk to my dad
I
like
wish
that.
a
Wish
motherfucker would. Oh man, imagine and you know what? That's another thing that I was thinking. The same way Will Smith stepped up to Chris Rock, I do feel like Halliburton's father did that because he knows that Giannis is a class act. He knows that Giannis is one of these guys that
Yep.
thinks 20 times before he does anything, before he says anything. So
Right.
that's why he ran up on him. He's not doing that to like freaking Udonis Haslam, like you said. What's his face?
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, you do that
Isaiah
to somebody that
Stewart,
has everything to lose,
Green.
not somebody that has nothing to lose.
Yeah, not just someone that has everything to lose, but also someone that doesn't have a reputation of a tough guy to maintain. Like, can you imagine him doing that to Bobby Portis of the
Bobby
Bucks?
Portis looks nuts.
I don't think Bobby Portis is looking at him and smiling at him the way that Giannis did. I don't think that ends well with Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis be looking at him like Samuel Jackson, and that tank top with like the fucking cigarette in his mouth.
How about Michael
Man.
Porter Jr.?
Uh,
Porter
I don't
Jr.
know.
seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, it seems kind of mellow. Michael Porter Jr. looks kind of mellow. Yeah.
I like. There's guys who are short dudes, like dude on the Heat, Davion Mitchell. I would not do that
Ooh,
to him, and that
no.
dude's like maybe 6 feet tall. I would
Yeah,
not
yeah.
do that to him. I
It
would
wouldn't end
not.
well. He'd do it to like Tyler Hero, though.
Dude, Tyler Hero.
You know,
Oh my God,
Halliburton's
Tyler
father would
Hero.
do it to Tyler Hero. That's the type of
Almost
guy he
certainly.
seems to be,
I don't
honestly.
know. Tyler Hero might snap.
You think?
Yeah, Tyler Hero just
how
Tyler
many
Hero just
flicks
put
in
on
one
one of the
damn
worst
take?
performances of all time. He might be at his breaking point. He might be at his breaking point. He might catch him on the wrong day and just snap.
All right. We need to move on. Chat's getting
Oh,
restless. All right, Rachie. All right. Just give me a minute. All right. You ain't gotta lose your marbles. All right. So you guys know this little game, right? This little indie game called it's called Call of Duty. Nothing too serious.
Okay.
They have a new operator.
I haven't
Name's
seen any of this.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. They brought in Seth from.
Yeah, they sure did, buddy.
Let's go. Why not? Fuck it.
Okay. So Matt, this
Yeah.
one's for you then.
Let's go.
What was your first reaction when you heard Seth Rogen like 5 seconds ago, just now?
Goodness gracious.
And
Look, you're
is this
downloading
is this a brilliant oh buzz off him? Is this a brilliant I'm not downloading it. What the
Look.
No, I'm not. It's the YouTube thing. Anyway,
Don't
right.
try to pull that trick. That
is
was
this-
obviously you downloading it.
is this a brilliant move or total immersion breaker, Matt?
Well, we're way past that, dude.
Yep.
We're so far past that. Like this, we're so far past this being an immersion breaker that I'm honestly back to it's a brilliant move. Because why
Really?
not?
Since
Like,
it's all fucked anyway.
You've already got Nicki Minaj like half naked, and they get like,
You've got weapon charms with monster energy on them.
yeah, like why not have Seth Rogen? Especially because it's like, dude, like a lot of people. I don't know. I don't want to go on, but like, dude, it's just
Say it.
why
Say
not?
it.
Why would you not have Seth Rogen at this point? Like, get all the actors, get all the actors from comedy movies, get people from horror movies. We got the TV show people. Get I want to get Mark Scout from Severance in there. That's what I want. Give me Mark Scout and Heliar from Severance. Give me Drummond from Severance. Give me I want to get Hugo from Lost. Give me big ass Hugo from Lost. Why not? I mean,
I
we're
want
so
Bobby Hill.
yeah, dude, and make it like an animated Bobby Hill.
I want
It
Who's
would
gout
Bobby
while I'm
Hill?
running around killing people.
Who's Bobby Hill?
King of the
King of
Hill.
the Hill, the kid.
Oh shit, the
Don't tell me
kid.
you're from Texas and you haven't seen. You can't do that.
Again,
Dude,
for everyone in
that's
the back,
wild.
more evidence and proof, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm not
That
in
you don't
Texas.
have good internet in
He's
Texas.
This
That's
guy's
the
like,
truth.
I've never heard of King of the Hill, one of the most popular shows that takes place in my home state. Never heard of that in my entire life. This is insane. Don't do that, look.
I don't
But
rep North Texas.
exactly. But in all seriousness, though, like
Yeah.
Seth
Let's get
Rogen,
back. Let's go back to
it's.
this.
I don't think it's a big deal. Like, so what's the vibe online? Because I missed this
The
until you
vibe is
said
not
it.
good. The vibe is
So
not
okay,
good.
No, it's not.
okay,
And I agree with the vibe, right?
okay.
Yes, you can bring celebs, but who still hasn't been brought in? You mentioned Nicki Minaj. John Wick hasn't been brought in.
That's nuts. Why is John Wick not there? Let's get
I
John
don't
Wick in there.
know. I don't know. For me, right? I would say put in motherfucking action stars before you put in these guys from Dumb and Dumber. Oh, sorry,
But
Jay and Silent Bob.
there
Fucking
you go. Put in
sellouts.
Jay and Silent Bob.
But
Why
these
not?
motherfuckers ain't My God,
But no,
sir.
but half the people in there aren't action stars. Like that's my point. Is like I agree with you. Like if this was back in like I don't know the end of the
Oh
360
my Lord,
generation.
look at that.
If this was at the end of the 360 generation and we were seeing this for the first time, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is going on and what are they doing to Call of Duty?
Hmm.
But in 2025, I'm so far past that. I mean, I play Call of Duty because it's fun. It's a fun game. It's a fun time to play with friends. But
I
like,
want this on repeat for a little while.
I don't play Call of Duty for the immersion, the multiplayer anymore. That's been cooked. That's been done.
It's been cooked. All right. Richie says he wants Daisy Ridley. That's the chick that is like the main protagonist from the recent Star Wars movies. Ty says Immersion Breaker. Isn't this the game that has zombies? Zombies with previous US presidents. The question is an Immersion Breaker. It's more like this make the money they expect. All right.
Yes, it will.
Okay. All right. Matt says it will. Ham, do you think this will make the money back?
Will it make the money back? I'm not sure if it's losing any money.
Exactly.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people, are a lot of people are casual when it comes to this stuff, and they want to see things that are popular, interesting, and this isn't super interesting to people that are gamers, right? Like this doesn't add any value to the core gamers, right? But to casual people, which is more or less what all these companies are targeting, because they don't like the super or there's certain games that target those type of gamers, right? That target gamers, right? But Call of Duty, Fortnite, games like that, Apex, they're not trying to target just gamers. They're trying to target everybody, right? And the things that are popular, that's why you see, Squid Games just came out with a new season. Squid Games in the game, right? You're fucking doing, you're doing, what was that called? What was that game?
The start and stop game. I forget what it's called. Red light, green light.
Yeah,
Red light,
you're
green light.
playing red light, green light in a fucking Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
It's just what's popular, right? And people think it's funny. Another thing it also targets is these games just like I put up a tweet the other day, and it was like I think Taco Bell was in it, Jimmy John's I know was in it, and it might have been Subway or somebody else. I don't remember who exactly. But for 420, they were talking about like they were bringing marijuana innuendos into their advertisement, right? Knowing damn well in this entire state it ain't legal
Wow.
to do that, to smoke. Just like it ain't legal to do it in a lot of the places that sell Call of Duty, but you can still buy Cheech or Chong. You can still get you can still get Jay and Silent Bob. You can still get Seth Rogen, all these pothead dudes, right? Because they know the target audience. A lot of people that play Call of Duty are smoking weed and drinking and just kicking it.
Yep.
So that's
well,
the
at least they
target
got
audience.
behind.
It's stupid to those of us that want to see innovation and want to see something that makes sense. But as Ty just got done saying, what about this game makes sense already right now? Matt said that just a moment ago too. Like we're so far gone from this needing to make sense anymore. It doesn't clearly. So, I mean, why not? I mean, you already went left. Why not just keep going? Why try to turn around now?
Go
I
all
mean,
the way now.
At this point, you kind of got to let that do its thing where it's at. And if you want to make a serious Call of Duty, then you're gonna have to make it its own separate game. To be honest,
Exactly. Because
or you're just gonna have to stick to just story being serious and the online stuff not,
Online.
right?
Mm.
I mean, there's a reason they give you these separate game types, right? You got the story mode that's completely separate. You got certain operations that you can do that's completely separate. You got zombies that's completely separate. You got Warzone that's completely separate. You know, and you got this now. So it's more or less saying, hey, pick or choose. The only thing Call of Duty's missing, which is kind of funny, is that ultra seriousness that a lot of people are looking into for Battlefield. But if you look at Battlefield's numbers, nobody gives a fuck. So why would Call of Duty?
Damn.
Am I wrong?
That is the
true.
thing.
If nobody
Imagine-
cares, then why would these companies honor something that's going to purposefully tank them? They're trying to make more money, not less money, and gain respect. They don't give a shit about respect.
Yeah.
And when they
That's
do
true.
give a shit about respect, they make sure that they let you know that this in particular is being respected, right? Or this in particular is to the story. And then they'll put like some sort of like headline with a person that is serious that's talking about it and have a sit down interview about it. Kind of like me and Matt watched yesterday, how Outer Worlds got inspired by Fallout, right? They're talking about how serious it is because that is serious to them. But you are getting no developer sit down to talk about Seth Rogen. That's not happening.
No one cares.
They're just like, here it is, eat it. You want it? Eat it.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys. People are gonna eat it up, but I still think that fundamentally, and this is not just about this is how it should be because I feel this way. I'm talking about just like money wise, right? I think someone made a miscalculation here. Dairy says, "What is Seth Rogen doing for people to want him in Call of Duty?"
He has a
And
new
Ham, you're
show
talking,
that's coming out on Apple TV.
Yep, new show.
but Ham, is he for like action, right? For an action game, is Seth Rogen more relevant than John Wick?
Is John Wick more relevant than Nicki Minaj?
That's another thing. He's
in
more
terms of
he's more
action.
relevant.
In terms of
He's more
action
relevant.
specifically, yes.
Who's more relevant to each other? Nicki Minaj, John Wick. But between Nicki Minaj, John Wick, and Seth Rogen, who's the most relevant to each other? Pick two.
again, if we're talking about action wise,
The
because if
two
you're
not.
non-action people, right?
the two non-action people, yes.
Yes. And here's the thing. I think John Wick in Call of Duty would be a killer. It'd be a killer sell. But these companies are all about strategy, right? So if there's another John Wick movie, they're waiting for that. Because they can maximize the
too
sell of,
soon.
oh, there's a new movie coming out, and now you can play as John Wick compared to, oh, you can just play on John Wick now on a random Saturday.
Exactly. It has to. Like that movie has to line up with like
We're talking about brand synergy right now. We're talking about brand synergy.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Also,
Goddamn.
imagine this, look.
Concord
Imagine,
wanted brand synergy when they dropped. It's just their game did bad before the show.
yeah. Imagine they took out all the stuff. Imagine they like Jay and Silent Bob. Imagine they took out Nicki Minaj and Squid Game stuff. Imagine they took all that stuff out. Is that gonna make them more money? Because it's not. It's gonna make them a lot less money. It's gonna make them so much less money. So at the end of the day, that's all they care about is get money, pop culture, get money, and whatever gets the money, they'll throw it in the game.
So let's lean into this.
Let's
Matt,
do it.
how would you
Let's do it.
design Seth Rogen's finishing move?
I don't even know, honestly. I want. Here's the thing.
Does he laugh you to death?
If I'm getting, yeah, honestly, you have to have his laugh in the game probably for something. I don't know what for. If I'm getting Seth Rogen on Call of Duty, it would have to be, and I know it's not going to be, so I don't care, but it would have to be the Pineapple Express Seth Rogen. But
what's the finishing
I don't
move?
know. His finisher would involve something with a bong, probably. Don't know what though. He could just break it and just stab somebody with it. I don't know.
All right, Ham. Seth Rogen's finishing move.
Passing the blunt.
Passing a blunt.
Yeah, he
Passes you that Pineapple Express. Just fucking kills you.
He gives you a joint, knocks you the fuck out.
Snoop is not going to enjoy that one. Be like, hey, that's my move.
You pass in the blunt, it knocks him out, and then you ash on us, and then you ash on top of him, or like put it out on his forehead.
Yeah.
And then the Seth Rogen laugh, the giggle.
Yeah, while he's putting it out on his forehead. Yeah.
All right.
I think like The Rock right there. Who photoshopped that?
I'm guessing that's for the show.
That's got to be a Halloween.
No,
he has to be trying to look like The Rock right there. That has
no,
to
that was Photoshop. That was The Rock with his head.
It wasn't The Rock.
I don't think that was.
It was The Rock with his head on top. I guarantee it.
Hold on. Where was that? God damn, this video is kind of long. Where is it? This
Rogue Black Ops.
What?
I don't know. You're saying this looks like The Rock?
No,
he's talking about the other. He's talking about another.
Talking about the photo with him in the black shirt and the necklace on. That was somebody photoshopped.
That's the one that I just paused on the screen right now.
No, you didn't.
Is it not?
You didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. Oh damn! I paused our YouTube.
Yeah, right there.
That one.
Yeah,
that looks like The Rock to you.
No, that is The Rock with his head photoshopped on top.
That doesn't look like that because that doesn't look like Photoshop because where the neck meets the sweater, that does not look.
Yeah,
I think that's him dressed up as The Rock.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure that that's The Rock. Look at the shoulders. He doesn't have shoulders like that.
But
He
I mean, it's
doesn't.
a
That's
suit.
padding. That's padding.
It's padding. That's a suit.
Yeah, yeah. Osha says that's from a while back in Halloween. Okay, so that was
Okay,
Yeah,
his
so,
outfit
so
for
he's dressed
Halloween.
up like The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I guess I was wrong about him being Photoshop, but I'm not wrong about that being The Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be The
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, he was trying to be
Say
Dwayne.
Seth Rogen is not cut up like that. Stop it.
Maybe in his show it might be cut up. All right, so Matt, you wake
Yeah.
up tomorrow. You are the
Seth
head
Rogen?
honcho, the unquestionable king and owner of
Unquestionable
EA.
queen.
No, not EA, but Black Ops, right? And you can add anyone to the game.
Of
Who are
Call
you
of
adding?
Duty.
Yeah, but it has to be a celeb.
I told you.
Could be someone that's perfect or hilariously awful.
I told you. Mark Scout from Severance.
Mark Scott from Severance. I still
Scout.
haven't seen Severance. Mark Scout.
Yes, from Severance.
Mark
Or if we're doing the comedy
Mark
thing, you
from
could get the same actor, but Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec.
Mark Scott. Oh my God, this guy. Okay. Ben
I
who?
mean, Ben Wyatt. He played Ben Wyatt in Parks and Rec.
Ben Wyatt. Parks and Rec.
Or even funnier, if you watch
Oh my
Parks and Rec, you'll get this
jeez.
one. Even funnier. If we're just going like, what's the most hilarious thing you could put in Call of Duty? Jerry from Parks and Rec.
Who's Jerry?
Look up Jerry
Jerry's
from Parks and Rec.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. That'd be
Put
funny.
him in Parks and
That'd be
Rec.
very
Put him
funny.
in
I mean,
Call of Duty. I think that'd
you're
be
right.
great.
You're right. I mean, if it doesn't matter, right? If nothing matters, then fuck it.
Exactly. We're all having fun, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Ham, who are you adding to the game if you wake up tomorrow and you're the head honcho of Black Ops?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, let's
That's
go. Let's
That's
fucking
good.
go. See,
I'm adding Dave
See?
Chappelle, and I'm having different like once you like the further you level him up, the more you upgrade different animation kills, and one of them's
Okay.
gotta be I'm Rick James, bitch, and and just fucking punching them dead in the face, and like and then on the screen you get like like you know how when you kill somebody it like puts something on the screen like kill streak or something like that, right? I wanted it to pop up and say unity.
Unity.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I want it to be sung too. Unity, like right when it
Well, the 5 fingers say to the face.
Oh, if there's a way to vote people into executive positions, I'm voting for him. That sounds like
Chappelle's
that's
a
the
great
type
one.
of shit that would make me want to play Call of Duty. I'm not even a Call of Duty guy, like the online multiplayer part of it. But that sounds like something that I would definitely want to play the shit out
when you
of.
win a game, you get to fucking when you win the game, Oshus is kind of cooking a little bit. When you win the game, and if you become the MVP, it says game blouses.
I want to hear hooray for me, Billy.
Oh
Hooray
my
for
God.
me.
Hooray for me. Wait, Billy is in from that episode.
On right at the end. Yeah. You get to do the animation. What?
What? Perfect. That's fucking perfect, man. Perfect. Ty says, ever since you went for my Mozambican brother Yasuke, it's been on site. Go back to your stereotypical Chris Redfield. We kings in this bitch. What the fuck? Okay, people are getting violent in the chat. People are getting very violent in the chat. Just keep the gloves on,
Yeah,
Keep the gloves on.
I'm not. We're not promoting black on black.
What?
Here.
Yeah.
Two individuals, please stop behaving like children.
Yeah, and you guys are on different continents. Relax. God damn. All right. So that was Black Ops. Matt, you were unbothered by by the addition of Seth Rogen and those other two guys, correct?
Absolutely. I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet.
All right. Matt don't give a shit. Ham, you also don't care
I'm sorry about what?
about Seth Rogen. You're good with that. You're not bothered.
No, because I'm not buying it. It doesn't I feel like people need to like kind of think about that for a second.
Mm.
A lot of people waste so much time complaining, and being mad, and thinking that they are somebody for telling somebody something when really the most heartbreaking thing you could do is just say, I ain't paying for this. That's
Just
the
ask
most
the
heartbreaking
Concord
thing
guy.
you could really do is just is like you don't have to say anything hurtful. You don't have to say anything like you guys are trash devs, you guys are horrible. All you have to say in the chat or in a comment or whatever is not worth my money, and just keep it moving. If enough people said just simply that instead of trying to figure out a cool, interesting way to be disrespectful, I feel like they'd get a lot further. Everybody's on a different page of why they think this is disrespectful, why this is wrong, who is in charge and made this decision, who they think they should slap, whatever. Right? Like the most hurtful thing you can tell a business owner or somebody that works at a business is I'm never coming back here, or I'm not paying for what y'all are selling.
Moment of silence for the Concord team. Anyways, good point, Ham.
I mean,
Good
how many
point.
times have you seen
You
somebody?
ended that one quick.
How many times have we seen people trash a game and say all this negative stuff, and the game just continues to succeed? We're talking about the game right now, Call of Duty. Every year they come out with a game. It's the worst thing ever.
And every year,
They break some record,
mm-hmm.
and it's just
To
like,
be
okay,
fair,
so really none of y'all are standing on business. The same person that was here last year complaining about the game is still playing the game and complaining about this version. I think we got him, y'all. You know what I mean?
I thought they'd struggle after they said that the new Call of Duty was going to Game Pass. Like, not struggle, but I didn't think they were gonna break records. Huh? For me, that was surprising. I did think going to Game Pass was gonna bring the numbers down a bit, but clearly I was wrong. People ain't standing on business like I'm saying. All right, moving on. We have Titanfall 3. Sorry. That's not coming. EA has cut around 300 roles, including roughly 100 at Respawn. In addition to the roughly 100 job cuts IGN reported earlier today at Respawn Entertainment, EA has made wider cuts around its organization today, impacting around 300, count them, 300 individuals total, including those already reported, at Respawn. IGN understand that these wider cuts largely impacted EA's experiences team, which also includes groups such as EA's fan care team and various other working on customer support and marketing, though other EA departments saw reductions as well. As with other cuts at EA, those impacted will be given the opportunity to apply for other roles internally prior to being let go. So here's a quote from EA. As part of our continued focus on our long-term strategic priorities, we've made select changes within our organization that more effectively aligns teams and allocates resources in service of driving future growth, an EA spokesperson said in an official statement. We are treating our people with care and respect throughout this process, working to minimize impacts by helping affected employees explore new opportunities within the company when possible and providing support during the transition. The roughly 100 jobs impacted at Respawn included individuals in development, publishing, and QA workers on Apex Legends, as well as smaller groups of individuals working on the Jedi team and two cancelled incubation projects, one of which we reported on back in March, and the other, which was per Bloomberg's reporting, a new Titanfall game. These cuts follow a number of other layoffs over the last few years at EA, including the elimination of 50 jobs at BioWare in 2023 and an unknown number more at Codemasters, and in 2024, a larger restructuring that resulted in 670 workers, count them 670 workers laid off company-wide, including around 24 workers at Respawn. And earlier this year, EA restructured BioWare, moving developers to other projects and laying off several. Matt,
Yo,
please tell us why it's so good that we're not getting another Titanfall game. And also 300
well,
people just got fired.
well, apparently it wasn't even really going to be a Titanfall game. It was going to be an extraction shooter in the Titanfall universe. So, I mean,
Nothing.
I don't like that people got laid off. There's a lot of things about this I don't like. Um, but the fact that we're not going to get a Titanfall extraction shooter, I don't care. Because that's not what I want anyway. Like EA knows what people want when it comes to Titanfall, or what the fans of Titanfall are asking for when it comes to Titanfall, and it's not an extraction shooter. They know that, and they seemingly don't care. Um, in terms of the broader picture, it's kind of stupid to me that Respawn. You could make an argument. Respawn is the most talented first-person shooter developer in the industry, and they have been for a while. And meanwhile, they are now relegated to updates for Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. That's that. I don't know what else I can call that other than mismanagement. That is mismanagement. And because they're being mismanaged, well, things aren't going awesome. We got to make cuts. And 100 people at Respawn get laid off, like 300 people in general at EA get laid off. It's it's a cycle, much like a lot of things in the industry. I'm just confused by it. I don't know why. I don't know why there's this push to give people things they don't want or care about. I just can't wrap my head around it. But good news, and I say this very sarcastically, is at least we're not getting Titanfall 3. At least at least we're not going to get the game we all want. At least they're going to end that on one of the greatest FPS stories ever told, and we'll never see a follow-up. So, that's the good news.
That sounds tragic, bro. Jeez. So
It
hopeful.
is. It is incredibly tragic. But EA is also incredibly stupid. So, it tracks. It really tracks.
Ty is about to go off on you. Like
On me.
yeah, dude.
Ty is
Ty
about to go
hates
off
when
on
people go
everybody.
on when anyone goes off on like a major corporation, a AAA
Oh, yeah,
corporation,
that's right.
all hell's about to break loose, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like
right.
that meme when someone is like shooting at the AAA organization, and then there's a fanboy diving,
Right
saying,
in front of it.
Yeah, saying don't attack the $1 billion company. That's Ty, bro. That is Ty. And if he ain't here in the chat, it's because he's not here literally. Like he won't listen to what you just said, Matt, and just let sleeping dogs lie. All hell's about to break loose. Rachie says, "Look, did WRC games get affected?" Um, to my knowledge, everything will be fine because the WRC license is the one that EA is not going to be handling moving forward. But the license holders said that the franchise is moving in a exciting direction, and they will have news for us imminently. So I'm guessing they're going to reach out to other developers, and like I always say, don't count on human benevolence, human kindness, human patience. The one thing you can always count on is human greed. You will never go wrong on that, my brothers and sisters. Any situation, just ask yourself, can someone profit? It will get done. It will get done. And as I'm scrolling the comment section, I'm seeing Taya already says,
Let's
please,
go.
let's not blame EA for this. Y'all said
Yeah,
developers need to
let's
stop
not
making
blame
big.
EA for being a big, dumb fucking corporation that mismanages all of its studios. Let's not. Let's not do that. In fact, EA's in a great position. That's why they just laid off 300 people because they're in such a good position. That's that's
He's
that's
about to bring up Split Fiction. Watch Ty bring up Split
yeah, but
Fiction.
Split Fiction saved EA. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
But
No, it didn't.
Ham bought it.
Split Fiction's a
So
great game, but no, it didn't.
so everything's fine. But let me
Apex,
finish what he said there.
Apex Legends, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then you can
yeah.
let me finish, then you get off your bars, Matt.
Nah, I'm
What's
good.
this?
You can go ahead.
Please let's not blame EA for this. Y'all said developers need to stop making big games and live services like games.
No
EA
one
listen
said
to
that.
looks.
No one's ever said that. I've never said that.
EA listened to Luke's podcast and got rid of the devs. This is what y'all wanted. It's
Bro,
never the corporation's fault. It's always someone else's fault.
I think Taye has I think Taye's made up versions of us in his head that he's constantly having arguments with. Because I legit have never said that we need to get rid of big developers and big game. I've never once in my life said that.
We need to get rid of the incompetent ones. That's what I feel like.
I think
The EAs.
here's the thing. If anything, I think I think more big games. Give developers everything. If here's the thing, to Loke's point, if you fail, then you failed, and there has to be repercussions for that. But
Yes,
I
sir.
think I'm all for giving developers more resources to do bigger things that they want to do. At no point
Yeah.
would I ever want to say, "Hey, this developer wants to make a big game. Too bad. Get over it." I'm
Yeah.
not.
No.
I'm not for that.
No. But definitely we need to get rid of this situation of everything needs to be an extraction shooter. Everything needs to
Yes,
be everything needs to be Apex. Everything needs to be Fortnite. Everything needs to be Call of Duty. What's it? Warfare or something.
Warzone.
The Warzone, exactly. Every single thing needs to be that. We need to stop with that. Otherwise, you know what? In fact, I actually had amended my position weeks ago. We don't need to stop any of this. This is a self-correcting issue. It is correcting itself as we speak. The big companies that aren't thinking about innovating and giving us things like Clay Obscure, Expedition 33, they're going out of business. People are losing jobs. Life is moving on, and you know what's happening? We can always count on human greed, so people will still make the good products as soon as they leave the companies. Because when you're at the big company, you have the opportunity to say, guys, I don't think Seth Rogen is the way forward. But the big boss is going to tell you, shut the hell up and do your job. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to put Seth Rogen in there. You know why? Because your salary is good. But as soon as you leave and then you're in your team of 10, 30, 50 people, and now there's no big boss, there's no safety net, there's no salary. You sit there, and then one of your co-devs like, oh, let's make the protagonist unattractive. Everyone will be like, yo, shut the fuck up, right? Because our money is on the line. You know what? No one is even going to suggest having unattractive characters, because now it's your money that's on the line. It's not the investor's money, it's not the CEO's money, it's your money that's actually on the line. Suddenly, indie devs ain't talking about or doing all this risque stuff. Now they're just trying to please people. Ham was laughing his ass off. Go ahead, Ham.
I put it on the screen. I want you to check this out, buddy. Go on ahead and just read that real quick.
Ex-Defiant exec calls out Call of Duty for trying to make as much money as possible from their games. I don't know, man.
Hey, hold on a second. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, not from Ex-Defiant. Come on.
I'm sorry, but
From movies.
what was the point of X-Defiant again?
No, it was to cure cancer, Ham. You didn't know?
It was to give you everything for free.
What was the point of X-Defiant? You know, like it was a free to play game, but it was free to play. Nobody planned on anybody buying anything from it.
Yeah,
that's why they just are casually shutting down the game, because they didn't expect to try to make money off of it. They just thought it could just hang out.
Yeah.
It just thought, no, but here, I want to click on this. I want you to read this, Loke, if you can. Read it out loud for everybody.
Okay. The actual post. All right. You guys feel free to interrupt. All right. Oh my God. Ty just wrote Split Fiction in the chat. Oh my Lord, bro. Come on.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let me read this. Thank you. A lot of games, Call of Duty included, just focus on how to make the most money possible out of the player base. They rely heavily on formal marketing and EOMM matches. But I feel like it used to be just more about the quality of the game, which would drive players to play. And that means making the game more player-centric, less engagement-based.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's like, what the fuck?
Because
I just want to say this before you start, Matt. Matt is the one person here that's played the most X-Defiant.
Yes.
Right, let's go.
Because here's the thing, I really liked X-Defiant and its beta, but they had this. He just said something about quality. Well, maybe you should take some fucking notes then about quality, because you launched a game with no weapon balancing, horrible respawn points, terribly designed maps, like maps. You made maps worse from the beta that were already there. But you're online talking about it used to be about the quality. I mean, your fucking thing. You launched a game that was less quality than the fucking beta.
Apparently, people enjoyed the beta.
I love the beta. I thought that shit. Dude. I mean, I never agreed with the whole Call of Duty killer. I thought that shit was fucking stupid. But so many people were hyped about the game, and I was one of them because I thought it was unique. It was Call of Duty with abilities and like classes, and that was really cool. And then they brought the game out, and the classes were broken, abilities meant nothing, and weapon balances just sucked. I could have an assault rifle and get outgunned by somebody with a pistol, just because, I don't know, for whatever fucking reason. But like, they didn't release a quality product. The idea that he's going to get on here and grandstand about quality of a product, when at the end of the day, whether you like Call of Duty or not, you turn that game on, especially the multiplayer,
technically,
to kill
yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And from a technical aspect, the way the game feels, gunplay, movement, all of that stuff is quality. You don't have to like the wrapper that it's in. That's fair. but it is a quality made game. That's the fact of it, and they failed to do that. So it's just kind of funny to me that he's there talking about quality when we couldn't even get the game that we got in the beta from them.
Yeah. Here's
I
an
don't know.
article. Like I'm not gonna show it on the screen because we're not gonna spend that much time on it. And plus, you need to finish reading this. But in this article, it just lists a few. It says Xdefiant, what went wrong, and it says Ubisoft's Xdefiant will shut down less than a year after its launch, leaving gamers baffled. Many players attribute the failure to ineffective marketing and a lack of nostalgic content. The sentiment surrounding the situation raises concerns for the stability of the gaming industry. Some fans express frustration over the growing number of games quitting the field shortly after release. So, in other words, what some people are in fear of, just taking kind of, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, right? Because I don't care if I'm wrong. But what I'm hearing is they gave up.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is they are giving up on this game, but for some reason, an exec feels like they can come up here and tell somebody about their quality of game.
It's kind of wild.
It's like a person that missed the playoffs telling somebody how to win the championship.
And they've never won it themselves. It's not like they won it a couple of years before. They've never won it themselves.
It reminds me of what John Morant said a couple of nights ago when he was like, man, if I was playing right now, if I was playing right now, OKC would be in trouble. I got them figured out. And it's like,
the fuck out of here, man.
I told Matt, I was like, if he hasn't figured out, wouldn't he want to share that with the rest of his team? Wouldn't the rest of his team be like, that sounds pretty cool? And Ja's just like, nah, man, I'm the only one that can do this. The rest of the other 4 people on the court right now are worthless. I have to be out there, or else it's impossible for us to win. Which I understand, like he's that kind of a star player, but you can't go out here talking like that, bro. Like you guys were on the sorry end of y'all season with you in.
It was pretty bad.
And now that you're out, you're gonna. I mean, that even reminded me of when Dame Lillard had his chest out to Halliburton. I'm like, dude, why don't you go sit your ass down on the bench?
He was on the bench. He was on the bench.
You were hurt. What are you doing?
Nothing. You're not doing anything, actually.
So I mean, it's a fact. It's essentially to me the same thing that this Mark Rubin's doing right now. It's like you are on the bench telling the starters how to win championships. Like, would you shut your ass up? But please continue reading the article or the thing.
The post.
Yeah.
Okay. Less engagement-based tactics and higher quality experiences for the players. Better maps. After what Matt just said, oh my god.
Yeah, better maps would be great, wouldn't it?
That's wild, bro. Better maps, modes, etc. In other words, your game should have a high player count because it's good and people want to play it rather than people playing it because the game has a $250 million marketing budget. Everything is just said is very... Everything
meant to
is
say
just
everything
said.
I just said.
Okay, yeah, that's probably... Okay, everything I just said is very simplified as it would take too long to really go into it. One last simple analogy. Be more like Larian, less like Activision.
Oh my!
This guy know how much money?
Does he understand that he works for Ubisoft?
Oh,
does he understand what building he works in?
That's crazy. Oh yeah, he works for Ubisoft. That's true.
This guy's confused. I'm I'm like,
Ham, could you please tag me on this thing, please?
I just don't know. Like the idea, like like I guess that people are only playing Call of Duty because it's marketed well. And hey, here's the thing: it is marketed well, and sure, that definitely helps. But you can market anything well. That doesn't mean it's going to have people playing it.
To do well, yeah.
I
I think
mean,
that's a dumb take.
we saw how we saw the reports about how Sony felt about Concord and how that was like
They
they wanted that to be fucking Star Wars.
they marketed the shit out of that game.
And look what happened.
Not
It's
much.
like whether you have marketing money like Call of Duty or money like I mean, well, I was gonna say like X Defiant, but again, it's Ubisoft. It's like it doesn't matter. Your game needs to be fun.
Good.
It has to make people feel good when they play it, for them to
Yes.
keep coming back and playing it. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: like I said, I thought they nailed that shit in the beta. Then they did the exact opposite of it in the actual release, and then they lost a bunch of players, and then they're sat there going like, "Well, I can't." And then this guy's like, well, I mean, I guess if we marketed it like Call of Duty, maybe we don't." No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, because you broke the fucking game. You wouldn't have more players. You'd just be spending more money on a game that's gonna die anyway, unless you fix it. That's all.
I was aware of X Defiant because I watch Joe from Seattle, and the dude hates Ubisoft. He does like first person shooters, and he was like, I can't believe. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He was like, I can't believe I live in a world where um where I'm praising Ubisoft, but
Yeah.
that's how good X Defiant is. And he was talking about it when he was still in the beta. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the thing came out, everyone lost their mind. Everyone was like, what the hell happened? What happened?
Yep.
We had it. We had the secret sauce. This was going to rival Call of Duty. Everyone thought, at least the people that played the beta. But for some reason, someone decided to kneecap the game themselves, which was fun.
They sure did. And it's tragic.
Someone
And
replied, says, go ahead, man.
no, I was just saying, this guy getting online and just lashing out at Call of Duty doesn't make it less tragic. In fact, it makes it makes it even more tragic, quite frankly.
Damn, this even mentions something Matt got done talking
Yep.
about. Go ahead, Loke.
Someone says, wait, X Defiant also had bundles. Also, X Defiant devs are mad because they didn't do their homework and realized that SBMM was needed to
Skill-based
keep their
matchmaking.
game alive. Skill based matchmaking was needed to keep
Mhm.
their game alive. Oops. And the worst part is, they could have put skill based matchmaking after the game came out when people were bitching about it. They could have done it. But like you said, Matt, they ran away like a bunch of punks.
They did everything they should, everything you shouldn't do with a live service game. In fact, here's the only thing you should be doing with a live service game is listening to the community, because that's the people
That's
that's
all.
going to make that's the people that's going to make you money.
I
They're
like
going
this.
to
Yes.
buy things.
I like this
So like,
reply right here. Simple. From
end of the
John.
day, it's a business, and this is a capitalist society. If people don't want it, they don't buy it. I don't even play COD anymore, but this seems like major code. Yeah, it just seems like this dude's
Damn.
lashing out for no reason, and it's really random too, because it hasn't X Defiant been offline for a while at this point. I'm gonna look that
Since
up.
last year, if I'm not mistaken. Since last year,
Yeah,
it's been
like
down.
it just seems like a really random, out of the blue thing. Like, if you're gonna lash out like this, lash out as X Defiant is dying, like while it's still a thing. Like, if that's what you want to do, still embarrassing, but do it. But a year later, dude, it's done. It's been done. The community knows what you did, but it doesn't seem like you guys fully know what you did.
I think
So,
seeing Call of Duty continuing to trend, continuing to make bank, I think it's messing with them, dude.
which is it should that's yeah. I don't know. There's so many different ways to come at this, but that's like a whole other thing of like Call of Duty having success shouldn't 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 make you angry. That should motivate you guys to do more things
Next
to
time you get
try
a
and
chance.
to try and match it. And I get it, like, perhaps Ubisoft's budget for X Defiant obviously probably isn't what was what ABK's budget or Microsoft's budget now is for Call of Duty, but at the same time, your job is to make a fun game at the very least. And you did not ship a fun game.
Do you
That's
guys
all it
think that?
was.
This is
Do
a
you guys
low
think that Clear
answer
Obscure?
right here. That's a low answer
Well,
right here.
one business model has kept the franchise alive for years. The other one closed down within a year. God damn it, I'm not like that.
You
Yo,
would say
that's
something like
vicious.
that 100%.
That's
the
vicious.
logic, though. That is logic.
Jeez. Do you guys think that the success of Clear Obscure is going to put more pressure on devs to make more with less?
100%.
I hope so.
They should.
And I hope it does. Like that, like again,
There should be
I
more
think we talked
studios with
about
less
this.
people.
I think we talked about this last week on Bullsitting, but like a game being good is a good thing, not just for the game, but for other games in that genre. Because if the developers like if they're really passionate and give a fuck about the thing they're making, they're gonna see that good game and say, "Yo, that looks awesome. How can we either top that or do something to the best of our abilities to make it just as fucking good? How can we do that?" And if you're not doing that, like then what do you do? What's the point? If you're not trying to make the best thing you possibly can, what is the point?
That is the question. It's about making money. That's the point.
It's exactly making the best thing you possibly can will make you money. Making a game better than X Defiant would have made them more money. But that's what it is.
Damn,
Hey,
man.
shout out Ricky.
It's survival of the fittest. God damn.
Survival of the fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, off the fitness. Okay. All right. Matthew. Oh, welcome in Xbox Lord Chaos 78 says he's bitter as fuck. Matthew Hum, welcome in, says, bro, that indie action figure shooter game for PlayStation looks dope. And
It's on Xbox,
and I
bud.
yeah, and I feel
Indie
like
action
there
It's actually
there's
I
on
know
no
what you're
Xbox
talking about.
first.
it launched on
Yeah.
Xbox, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah,
no. It launched on
Hypercharge.
Steam.
Oh, it launched on Steam.
It launched on
And then
Steam,
came to
and then it came to
Xbox.
Xbox like a few years later.
I think it's Hypercharge, correct?
Hypercharge.
Hypercharge Unbox.
Hypercharge.
Hypercharge
Yeah.
Unbox. Yeah, I bought that game as soon as it came to Xbox, and I interviewed the one of the lead developers dash marketing managers for that game on this channel.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I did that a few months back,
episode.
actually.
That was a cool episode.
Yeah, he's a really nice dude. Super duper nice dude. He
Great
cried.
accent
He
also.
cried during the episode that we had. It was pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is so
I-
proud
I-
of his game and shit.
Dude, you put years and
Beautiful.
years into this thing, and people actually gravitate towards it and embrace it. That's wild, bro. Like, dude, Ham, remember the first time? Ham, that our comment section just exploded on the pod, and suddenly we had like 20, 30 people in here. We had a moment where we had to sit back and be like, wow, this is actually happening.
That's because we remember when we only had one person watching, and it was like one of our wives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, with them, I wager it's the same thing. It was just them, just coding and developing at home, and it was their wives, their parents, their husbands that were holding the other end of the rope that people call reality, and saying, "I believe in you. Go and run after your dream." They did it. They put it out, and people loved it. Very few things are more gratifying than that. I'd fucking cry too.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Welcome in Seawolf Gaming says not about engagement. I don't know. Ty says Clay Obscure changes nothing. Games like Clay Obscure were always being made. Metaphor cost less than Final Fantasy. Stellar Blade cost less than flashy beat 'em ups. I mean, look at Wolong, Helldivers 2, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, Split Fiction. These smaller games are everywhere. Claire changes nothing. Wow.
What is he saying there?
Because I asked him and you as well, like, do you
Yeah.
think a game developed by 30 people taking the gaming world by storm is going to put more pressure on developers to make to do more with less? Ty is
So
saying,
so
Well,
is
the
he
thing,
happy that is he happy about the fact that he thinks it changes nothing? Is that like, are you stoked about that, Ty? Are you pumped?
I think any business, I mean, any business wants to do more with less. That's kind of what
yeah,
the point of having a business is,
yeah, that's the
because
whole
you're
point.
doing more and then charging. I mean, you're doing a service and then charging other people more to have it because they can't do it themselves. So the less people you have working on it, the more money that you make. It's just some of these things, especially like online continuous games, need constant servicing and updates and stuff like that. And these year over year games like 2Ks and Maddens
Call of
and
Duty,
Call of Duties and whatnot need constant like
you can't have 30 people.
for this stuff. I mean, when you don't see very much oversight, you get a lot of complaints fast, and then the game dies fast, and there's no promising that you can get people back. So, I mean, there'll always be like places where they have a large amount of people, but I'm feeling like, especially for like single player games, it needs to kind of be more normalized because we're seeing like Hazelite. They don't have a ton of people that work there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Sandfall with Expedition doesn't have a ton of people. The game that we were just talking about, Hypercharge Exchange, has like less than 10, like or at least less than 12 that I know of. So when they sell 50,000 copies at $30 a pop, that's bank.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
For a small squad like that. But if you have like, let's say like 1,000 people working on a game, like a Ubisoft game,
Like
and
Assassin's
then
Creed.
and then you like you overspend on all this stuff to do within the game when people are already telling you, hey, they're exhausted or whatever. You do it anyways because you want people to stay engaged with your game. You just like it's not that it's really a bad thing. It's just you better hit the mark with that. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is actually a pretty good game. It's just Assassin's Creed, the actual game itself, is just not my cup of tea. I do enjoy it when I play it, though. It's still installed on my Series X. Did I consider deleting it? Yeah. Because I have other games that I'm trying to play before that, or I have more games that I care about than that. But all in all, I'm just trying to say that big companies are worth being around, but people should, try to do more with less.
Manage the scope.
I think
They need
today's
to manage
age,
the scope.
I feel like today's age is almost begging you to do more for less because why work for a company when you see all these other companies that are coming, that are just barely coming up? They're just a few years old and they're already making more than some of these big companies are with their big games.
I also think it's important to note, in terms of like, will this change anything? This does change things, because if for example Hypercharge Unboxed with like 10 people can do what they did, then that gives anybody else confidence to be like, you know what, maybe it's possible. And you know what,
Yeah.
sometimes you fail, but sometimes there are success stories, and that's kind of what, like, that's a feel good thing that I feel like everybody probably should like, or support, for that matter, of like, if Claire's Edition can come out their first game and it's critically acclaimed a masterpiece, that should be a lot of like, that should be a lot of, I don't know, fuel for anybody else who might have an idea but goes, oh yeah, but I don't have a team of 100 people or a team of 1,000 people, for that matter. It's like,
Yeah.
you might not need it. You might be able to use what you have now and make something great. That's
And to your
a good thing.
Ty
and to your
asks, he is like, which one makes more, Space Marines or Clair Obscure? And like, my answer to that is Space Marine for sure. But if I
Yeah.
were to divvy up the cut between the people,
scope.
I would probably think the people that work on Clair Obscure are probably making more per person than Space Marine.
Because of
Yes.
scope. No one has to pay a franchise to franchise the brand of Clair Obscure. Because people look at 2K, oh, they make so much money with 2K. They pay a
License.
shit ton of money to the NBA. Same
Yeah,
thing with
buddy.
FIFA. That's why they ran away from EA, because EA was like, we're not going to pay these absurd amounts of money, and they were like, I bounce there, and so they left. So to know who is actually making more money, to Ham's point, we would need everyone's scope. We need to know who put in how much Sanfor put into the development. We need to know exactly how much they put in. We need to know exactly how much the guys that made Space Marine 2 put in. And then we need to know how much they got back. And then we're going to know who actually made more money. Because although Assassin's Creed can sell 5 million copies, the Ubisoft could actually take home less money than Clair Obscure, even though Clair Obscure is probably gonna tap out at like 2.5 million sales. Because it matters how much you put in. Ham could put in $1 million into TSWS as investment with editors and whatever.
Check
But
this
then,
out. Oh, go ahead.
okay,
Finish.
go ahead.
Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Ham could put in $1 million into TSWS. We could make 2 million at the end of the year. We only really made 1 million. I could turn around and put in 500,000, but put it in the right places, and then we make that same 2 million the next year. Guess what? My investment into TSWS made more money than Ham's investment, even though to anyone outside of TSWS, we made 2 million in the space of 2 years. So that's why scope is important. Go ahead, Ham.
I was gonna say, how many? You guys know how many people worked on a Clair Obscure, right? How many?
33.
30.
30.
Isn't it 33?
30.
It's 30.
Oh, okay.
Saber Interactive, the developer of Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, employs over 1,350 people.
It's before we start paying the people that own Warhammer.
So
That.
So I mean, that's kind of what I mean. It's just like, so Sure, you may have not sold as much, but the splits is a lot different.
Yep.
The splits on what they make per developer, or at least I mean, because we don't know what the head developer is doing with the money and telling people what they get, right? We don't know that, but they've sold over 1 million copies and already got paid by Xbox to be in Game Pass
Day one.
day one. So to me, it's just like, if you were to ask me which place would I'd rather work, Sandfall.
Hell yeah. That's where I want to be.
Yep.
It's a
I'd
good
rather
shit.
work I'd rather work with less people and make more money off of that split compared to work with a ton of different people and be mad when I hear, there was 500 people that made a ton more than I did or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my personal opinion, the way I kind of look at it. I'd personally probably rather work at Sandfall with this situation.
Yeah. Voidlock, welcome in, says X Defiant would have been good if the hit register worked. Why I stopped playing.
Yeah, that's
The
fact.
game had so many problems.
I want to know what's Seawolf talking about? Sold where? What is he talking about? Because this might get kind of fun. Because we went over this already.
Seawolf's talking about ain't nobody buying games on Xbox. That's what
Why is it sold
Seawolf's
out?
talking about. My guy, Seawolf. Let's go. Sapo, welcome in.
Why is it
Hold
sold
on,
out,
Ham.
Luke? Why is it sold out?
Before you respond, Ham, let me greet Sapo. All right, God damn it. Welcome in, Sapo. Claire is in Game Pass. It changes what I'm playing. Hello. Sapo understands the assignment. Screw the corporations. What are you getting out of the deal?
Exactly. What's in it for me with them?
Hell yeah. Welcome in Yodani Casada with the salute. Ron Slusher, welcome, says support the devs. Microsoft about needs to buy Sandfall next. Oh God, stop it. I'm
Support
so
the shit
tired of this
out of them.
conversation. Every time someone pops off in gaming, Microsoft should buy them. Stop with this conversation.
Support the
I'm
shit out
tired
of
of
them,
this.
right? They're supporting them.
Support the shit out of them. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of this conversation, Ham. I'm serious right now. I'm very tired of this conversation of, oh, something popped off on Game Pass, or people bought a lot of this, which had a deal with Xbox. Xbox should buy them. I don't think we should be moving in that direction. But to Seawolf's point, what Seawolf is saying here, right, when he says sold where, he is pointing to the obvious, right? Most of the people that bought Clay Obscure Expedition 33 are on PC, followed by PlayStation.
Yeah, because it's not in the service on those things.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is on PC though.
It is on
but
PC.
it's not.
So I don't understand why.
Yeah, but it's not in the. Oh well, okay, true, fair enough. I'm get PC Game Pass.
So that's why I'm wondering why aren't people using the same energy for PC as they use for Xbox? Because it's just as available on that Game Pass as it's available.
But most
on
PC
Xbox Game Pass.
most PC gamers are on Steam. They're not on PC Game Pass.
But it's still an opportunity. There's just as much of an opportunity to cannibalize as there is.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong? Is it not the same opportunity?
Ever since before I moved to PC, I was not aware of this. But there is a platform fanboyism going on in PC gaming, or maybe I've just followed the wrong PC people.
No,
there are people that only buy on Epic. Very few of them, but they exist. There are people that only buy on Steam.
There are.
There are people, or actually, the majority of people only buy on Steam. There are people that buy only on GOG, and some people only on EA or Ubisoft, which is weird, very strange. But they have those subscription services, and they're like, I only stay on that. Point is, I think it's safe to say 80% of PC hardcore gamers are on Steam. I think it's safe to
But
say
that has nothing to do with my overview of this whole thing. My question is as simple as this.
Okay.
Is the accessibility any different?
No, you can access. You can
Game
Game
pay
Pass on PC.
for Claire Obscure on PC and on Xbox, or you can play it on Game Pass on PC and on
That's true.
Xbox. So
That's
to
true.
say
Yeah.
Xbox by itself is cannibalizing the game just on the console, I have to ask why it's not doing it on PC, seeing that it has the exact same option. It's
Yep.
the same thing. Am I wrong?
I'll leave that one to Seawolf. Seawolf got this. He got this. Ty says most people bought Clay Obscure on PC and PlayStation because Xbox is the smallest platform. Yeah, it's
Well,
simple,
That's
man.
process of elimination. That's pretty simple, right?
That's another thing
Very
people remember. Is again, throwback to what I said earlier. This whole group of people is like, Xbox is a dead platform. Nobody plays on Xbox. It's in last place. It's like, dude, it is in last place. What numbers are you expecting it to do? And this idea of like, nobody buys games on Xbox. People buy games on Xbox. I buy games on Xbox all the time. Lots of people do. There's just most of the sales aren't happening on Xbox. That's just the reality of it, because it's the smallest platform.
I mean,
by
we
a
can go
good
all the way
margin.
back to the original Xbox. Which one sold more copies of 2K? I wonder.
Yeah, it's obviously the PlayStation. It's just math. It's just basic math. They can't. Xbox isn't going to outsell and for copies of a game like NBA 2K on their platform versus PlayStation, or certainly not PC, because it's more people are there.
Well, Matt, if it does outsell, then there is a serious issue.
Yeah, massive issue.
There must be something game breaking going on or something, because with the raw data, it's just obvious. Like, which one makes more money, Subway or McDonald's?
Not the food analogy, Ham.
Okay, which
Not
one makes
the
more?
food
Which one
analogy.
makes more money, Best Buy or Radio Shack? Which
Best
one?
Buy, I guess.
They said
Okay.
Best Buy,
Buy.
I guess.
But okay, but would the small towns that have only Radio Shack tell you that, nah, man, we don't even need to use this?
No, I guess not.
No, because they still need it. They still need to go in there and get some sort of computer parts from somewhere. So it's just like, I just don't understand that.
Seawolf, don't move the goalpost, Seawolf. Don't do that. Respond to his question, bro. Respond to his question. Otherwise,
Gotta
he's
move
gonna
the
be like, "Yo, see, we asked him a question. He didn't say anything. Come on, Seawolf, don't do this. God damn it. Respond to the question, my guy."
No, it's easy to not respond to something that you already know the answer to, right? You don't want to respond to that because, that makes too much sense. Let's just change the goalpost so I can find a way to get that dub, right?
DJ Birdo, welcome in, says, wait, Radio Shack is still alive. Still
Yes,
around.
it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It actually is.
Turns out it is.
Yes, it
We
is.
have a Radio Shack near us, within 10 miles from us.
And I tell you what, if you shut that Radio Shack down,
Mhm.
I can guarantee you there's going to be some people that aren't happy about it. Will those people survive? Sure. But there's going to be people that are like, wow, things just got a little more inconvenient.
Yep.
Damn it. All right, guys. In 14 minutes, let's just keep it moving. God damn it! In 14 minutes, Borderlands 4 State of Play Deep Dive will be put on by
That's today.
PlayStation. It's in 14 minutes.
Holy shit,
PlayStation
Oh, boy.
PlayStation is gonna put that up there.
That's crazy. And then they ejecto Gosa Yote,
bro! Oh
but
man,
then they roll out
It-
the fucking welcome mat for Borderlands. That's confusing.
oh man. Yeah, I want to talk. Yeah, let's go because I kind of want to talk about this.
Are we
Go
gonna watch
ahead,
it?
Matt. Would y'all like to watch it?
As long as there's no music or whatnot, like sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we're
like
just gonna.
if there's music, we can just mute it. But if there isn't, we can
I'll
just
put
sit there and
closed
watch.
captions. I'll put closed captions, and then we can see. We can just look and read it. What
Well, we
they're
could listen
saying.
to it until music plays, right? And then and then we'll let the closed captions do the work.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, 12 minutes. Anyways, Matt,
Well,
go
get it ready,
ahead.
get it up, get it ready.
Yeah. Get it up. That's what she
Yeah.
said. Anyway, Matt,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
Mm.
Thoughts?
I thought you were gonna lead this into something. I thought you were leading into. I want to see if you're leading into what I was thinking about, and I don't know that
No, dude, I am just, dude. If I'm a PlayStation only gamer,
Yeah.
I feel okay. Honestly, I feel fine
Uh-huh.
because most of the bangers, if not all of the bangers, actually, this year,
Yeah.
although they've come from Xbox, right? I'm not one of these people that's captured, right? I'm not mentally captured. Although the bangers from 2025, 2024 as well came from Xbox, I still get to play them on PlayStation,
Sure.
right? Like everything that's come out on Xbox has been on PlayStation. The only thing is, well, I have to pay, right? I have to pay 60, 70 bucks for freaking Horizon 5, even though it's ancient, but that's not the point. The point is,
Is it 60?
all of the
I thought it was
bangers.
50.
Point is,
Yeah.
all of the bangers from 2024, 2025 are on PlayStation. It's just been zero exclusives, especially first party exclusives. So I'm
Uh-huh.
fine. I'm doing okay. I'm eating good, like the Americans like to say. I'm eating good
Yeah.
with PlayStation. That's my takeaway. Although,
Eat
One of my favorite
good.
games last year is not on PlayStation.
what game is that?
Stalker 2.
Isn't one of your favorite games this year not on PlayStation? Well,
Which one? South of Midnight. No, South of Midnight's
South
on
of Midnight.
PlayStation. It's on PlayStation. Is it
No,
not?
it's not.
Is it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
Hold on.
Definitely not.
Hold on.
No, it's look. There's no reason to look it up. It's not.
It's definitely not because that would have been announced if it was. It's not.
That isn't, and neither is Avowed.
Yeah, neither is Avowed.
Avowed is not on PlayStation.
No.
No. I was kind of confused. Like I wasn't gonna call you out for it, but like I was kind of confused when you were saying everything.
Okay, but
was on
Oblivion's on PlayStation.
Yeah, Hellblade
right?
2 isn't either
Yep.
yet, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
man, fuck
Uh,
Hellblade. You know I hate that game, Ham.
You didn't finish it, so I don't need to hear what you have to say about it because you told me you
Well,
were going to finish it.
because it's trash. Just because you finish it, dude. After I played, after I played Witcher 3 because of peer pressure, I will never again. I say again, I will never again finish a game because people say it's great, even though I'm not having fun with it. I'm never doing that again.
That's wild because you had no problem finishing fucking Dustborn.
right?
Ham, don't be an asshole.
Don't bring up the facts. Don't do that.
Don't be an asshole. No, bring
guess-
all the facts.
I'm just
no,
saying,
bring all
all
the
you gotta
facts.
do.
I'm just
No,
saying,
no,
if
no,
you
no,
can
no.
play Dustborn,
No.
now we need this man to play Hellblade 2 just out of sheer punishment.
No.
Yes,
You know
yes,
why,
that's gonna be
Ham?
your next punishment.
No,
Is to
the
finish that.
person that
It
needs
is. It's
punishment,
over.
the person that needs
Okay, well,
punishment
how about this? You
is the
either buy
person.
Marathon, since it's your game of the year for PlayStation, or you finish Hellblade. Which one you want to do? Because you got to stand on
Ham,
business. One of these.
Ham.
Stream
I'll
it.
take my punishment as soon as you take your punishment for saying stuff and not saying the full context of what happened.
Okay, look, that's really vague. Can you be a little bit more specific?
You're
'Cause I'll
saying
ta-
I played
because
Dustborn.
I will take that.
You're
So you do this.
saying I played Dustborn as
You
if
did.
I couldn't fucking wait to pop that motherfucker on every day I came back from work. You're
you
saying
did
it
No, I'm
like
not. I'm not saying it like that.
like- bro,
I'm just saying you had no problem
everyone
finishing
that's
it.
on
You finished it.
TSWS. Exactly, that's a lie. When you say I had no problem finishing it, that is
If you had a problem with
factually,
it,
right?
you wouldn't play it.
Untrue.
You didn't have
I'm
a
a man of
problem
what?
playing it. If
Oh
you
my
really legit had an issue and you're like, I literally hate this game, you wouldn't play it. But there was something there that made
That's
you
not true.
keep coming back and streaming
It's
it.
not true. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word.
Well, you did say you were going to finish Hellblade, and you haven't yet.
No, you know what? Since Ham, right? Since Ham is not going to give the whole truth here, I'll do it.
Do it, because I don't know what
We
I
were
missed.
on a podcast. We were on a podcast on a random Friday evening, like we always do on Bullsitting. Everyone, make sure to make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. 'Cause every single Friday we have Bullsitting with me, Ham, Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, Mental Nina, and a guest when they show up. We're on this podcast. I was mentioning for the millionth time that Metal Gear Solid is one of the best of all time. And then AEC Vic, right? Vic the Click, starts sending in super chats saying, would someone shut this man up about Metal Gear? He's like, all right, I will pay $10 every fucking week to make sure this guy doesn't mention Metal Gear on Bullsitting ever again. And then Matt was like, we need to come up with a punishment for Loke if he does break the rule, because Vic is going to always make sure he sends in the super chat. And I'm a man of my word. And I was like, all right, come up with your punishments. Matt was like, Metal Gear, when it comes out, Delta, obviously, when it comes out, Loke, don't play it for a month. And I was like, bump that. I'm not doing that. Come up with something else.
Exactly,
and Matt's like,
you weren't willing to do it.
Yeah, definitely not willing to do that. And then
But you were willing to do Dustborn.
Matt's like, all right, play and finish. Play Dustborn, I think for 3 hours or 6 hours. And I was like, that's fine. I can do that. The reason why, one, everyone knows I hate Dustborn. Two, even though I hate it, it's a punishment I can bear. There's certain things, right? Everyone knows this. We all have thresholds for different levels of suffering in life. There's certain things that you're willing to bear. And I was like, you know what? For $10 every single week, and I need that green card for me to get to Texas eventually, I was like, fuck it. I'll do that. And then I stumbled. It was the very same motherfucking show. I stumbled and they were like, got his ass. You need to start streaming Dustborn. And I was like, cool, I'll do it. And I did it. During the stream, the second stream when I was like, all right, so I'm gonna be done with Dust. Actually, no. I streamed Dustborn twice, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm moving on with this. When I went back to Football Manager, Big Mad Mo called me out and was like, dude, you need to finish Dustborn. I was like, no. The punishment was 6 hours. I played 6 hours. I played my penance. I'm out. Ham, at this exact point, right? This is now 2 proofs that I wasn't into the damn game. 1, it was used as punishment, and 2, I streamed it twice, and then I moved on. I started streaming other stuff. Mo called me out, and I was like, dude, I can't play that game because like I'm not feeling it, and I only did it because someone was throwing money at me, and I was like, you know what? Fine, it's worth it. And he was like, all right, I always throw money to TSWS. Here you go. Finish the damn game.
Hold on a second.
So I
We'll
finished it.
continue.
Well, if you're talking about throwing money, Day Reezy just said for $2 super chat, you got called out. Loke, finish Hellblade 2. You just got money for that. What's the difference?
That's not enough. It's $2. It's not
okay,
enough.
Well, now you're moving the goalposts.
For Hellblade 2, hell yeah.
You're moving the goalposts now. And keep in mind, you already told me there was something that you weren't willing to do.
Yes.
But then there was something that you were willing to do. So like I said, you could have said no.
Yes.
But you didn't.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
so last time we had a podcast, you said Marathon was your game, right? And we all joked about it, and you were talking about how, yeah, fine, you'll buy the game, Marathon. And I'm saying, hey, instead of doing that, why don't you just go on ahead and do Hellblade 2?
Fuck that. I'll buy it. Nope.
Look, Matt likes games right there. Hellblade 2 stream, Bozo, $10. There it is.
Hey, Loke.
What happened? What happened?
Hey, Loke, check the stream. Check chat.
Son of a bitch!
There you go.
You motherfucking piece of shit, Matt.
There you go. That's how Dustmon got kicked off. Now we're on the same page.
And here's the thing. Here's the good news for you, Loke. That game's not nearly as long as Dustborn. You can get that done in a stream, bud.
Damn it.
Yeah,
you
that's like
that
one or
done
two streams for you, buddy.
You get that
Throw
done
it on
quick.
easy mode and just walk your way through it.
There you go, bud. Because here's the thing. I knew he was gonna be like, "Will people pay me to play Hellblade?" So I went ahead and I paid you to play Hellblade. Well, the good thing is you're gonna play Hellblade. That's cool. That's really cool. So
yeah, those stipulations. There you go. You signed your own contract right there.
There you go, Loke. Be a man of your word, Loke.
Oh shit!
Go ahead and be a man of your word there, Loke. Let me know when you're streaming Hellblade. I'll come by and hang out.
He said, "Be a man of your word, Loke." Woo,
man!
You shouldn't have went on that 5-minute talking spree.
No, you shouldn't have.
Bitch, you in about 2 seconds.
You really shouldn't have, because I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, Look. So you did that to yourself, bud.
You did 5 minutes of whooping his own ass.
He sure did. He sure did. And now he gets to play a great game. So that's your reward, Look.
Oh, Dayreezy says, "Look, fucked around and found out." He's disheveled right now. Let's fucking go. Just in time for the show to start. Go on ahead and refresh that shit.
Recuperate your thoughts there, Loke.
Yeah. You got time to recuperate. Just let that. Just let the.
Pull
let the
yourself
state
together.
of play.
You know what he's probably doing right now? He's probably downloading Hellblade too.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah,
getting good and prepared.
Yep.
Man, it's gonna look beautiful. You know, Matt, it's really nice of you to build that PC for him because
it is right.
It's gonna look amazing on that PC.
It's gonna look great on your PC, bud.
It's gonna look really good.
It will. I'm looking forward to it.
Can we please? Can you get this page going? All you have to do is hit refresh.
You got it, bud.
Yeah, you can reach up there. You can hit that.
There you go.
Tap that button. Look at him. He's got it all figured out.
Look, I'm telling you, I got so excited when you went on that tangent because I knew exactly what you were gonna say, but I knew it.
What's great is I heard Matt when he figured it out. He was like, "Guess." Just a second. And then I was like, "Uh-oh." This dude's good. Dayreezy put down the season and Matt dropped.
That's that's
Matt
12
dropped the flavor.
that's $12 to play a game that lasts maybe 4.5 hours, Luke. You can do it.
Can I
You
give it
can do
back?
it.
Can I
Nope.
give the money
No,
back?
I don't want it back. I want you to that's your earned money for playing Hellblade 2.
There are
I
no
don't want your money
refunds,
back.
buddy. There's no refunds.
I want you to have a great experience with Hellblade 2, and I want to be there to watch it.
Yeah, look,
Oh my
I'll be there
God.
to support you too, buddy. I want to check you play
Oh
this
yeah.
game out.
Support, Sure.
I do. I really want to be a full-time supporter of this game.
Hell yeah.
I'll I'll watch your whole playthrough of it. It sounds fantastic. Sounds like a good time.
Man, I'm so happy that you went on that fucking tangent. I'm so happy that you did.
Oh no, Richie, fuck you. Listen, okay. No more super chats. No more super chats. I'm not playing another game for all right, $100. $100
Oh
and
man,
I'll play shit.
this guy really
$100.
doesn't sound like a man of his word. This is
Oh
really
my God.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I know,
Fuck.
right? This man.
Bad.
No.
This is bad.
Metal Gear Survive, Richie.
They raised
Richie,
you better
come
than
on.
that, Loke. You gotta be a man of
Yep.
your word.
Richie, come on, Richie.
Down there in Texas being a weasel. This ain't good. This ain't good.
Oh my God. Richie says I don't know if I should be thanking you for these $10, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you should.
You definitely
You should be
should.
very thankful.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
He's funding great experiences for you.
I can't.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Richie, for giving me the get out of jail card. Thank you. Says okay.
No, there is no
just
get out
the
of
next
jail
loss.
card.
Well, he said
No.
okay, just get the next loss idolins. I'll get it. I promise. I'll get it and I'll play it. That's
Oh
fine.
yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Oh
But there's
yeah,
not
sure,
a get
sure,
out
but-
of jail card with Hellblade. That's not a
Oh,
thing.
yeah. There's no get out of jail card for Hellblade. Hellblade's
You're
still
playing
a thing.
Hellblade. Yeah, you gotta play Hellblade.
So what
Here-
day next week do you want to do that? So I make sure that
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
not cheating.
We should figure. Don't do it Thursday, look, because I'm gonna be at work. Don't do it on Thursday. Do it like man. You know what time do you normally stream, Luke? What time do you normally stream?
So there's music.
What time? What time were you streaming Dustborn?
Yeah, what time were you streaming that, buddy?
I can't believe you guys are doing this to me.
Let's do the same thing with Hellblade.
Yeah,
I think consistency is best. I need
Yep.
to be more consistent with Mass Effect, but Jesus Christ, they're out here paying. They don't pay me to play Mass Effect. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you're literally out here getting paid to play Hellblade, and
Yeah.
that's, you know, one of the best Unreal Engine 5 developed games so far this
Best
generation.
looking game ever. Best looking game ever made.
I know, look, and you have that brand new PC where you can bring out
Right.
all of its luscious looks, and
Man. And he's just
I'm
being
kind of jealous.
just being ungrateful about it.
I know, it's pretty
It's not
sad.
good. Not a good look,
No child of mine.
right? No kidding.
You'd think since he wears a suit he'd go to church or something, but no.
Right?
You can tell that
Right.
he hasn't put anything in the bowl for a while.
He's been skimming some off the top.
Yeah, this motherfucker. He takes the first bill that he could see on the top. You know,
This guy.
he's trying to graduate to fucking scoundrel.
I'm gonna look something up real quick while we're watching this. I just want to see
It's
how.
$100. I'm not playing another game unless someone sends $100 super
I
chat.
mean,
We're done with this
you
madness.
shouldn't. You shouldn't take another game right now because you already got your plate full.
Yeah, you got it. You got a full plate. You got to finish Hellblade first.
So
before you
yeah,
can start
we
taking
gotta
other.
finish Hellblade, and then I'd say at least get Lost Lost Eidolons or whatever.
Lost Edelins.
Give that game a start before we start suggesting more, because I really want you to be locked in for Hellblade.
It's $100 a pop now,
I
and
want you to be locked in.
whoever decides to do that madness, it'll go to 1,000.
What
Watch
I'll
me.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. It
You know what?
wasn't
Fuck it. It's
$100. It wasn't
1,000.
$100 10 minutes ago. It wasn't
Yeah.
$100 10 minutes ago. It was $10, and now you're playing Hellblade 2.
Yeah, Loke is in Texas. Like, here's a tariff. Here's another fucking tariff.
Yep.
Oh my god! A gaming
Has a
tariff.
$90 tariff now.
Reezy says I'll be ready whatever time he starts. God damn it.
See?
God damn it,
People
Reezy.
can't wait, Loke. This is cinema.
You know what? I will pick. I'll find out what time is the most inconvenient time for like Americans, and then I'll start at that time. Like I'll
And
start
we'll fucking be
version.
there, buddy.
What time do you think is the most inconvenient for me?
I'll start at 2 a.m. 2 a.m.
down with
Eastern
that.
time.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm cool with that. We can do that.
God.
I'm usually still up around that time. That's fine.
Yeah.
Look, you just let me know, dude, and I will change my sleep schedule.
Ham,
I got your
you are
back.
the last person. You are the last motherfucker on this planet that I'm going to tell. All right.
Well, it's pretty good that I control the YouTube, so
Yep.
I kind of get notified.
Piece of crap.
Yeah, I got
Reezy,
my
thank you so much for the
notification. I
$2
rang
super
the
chat.
bell.
Please enjoy your amazing experiences. I'm jealous, bud. And then
Yeah,
he follows
yeah.
it up with, I don't sleep.
Yep. There's a lot of people who wish they could play Hellblade 2 again for the first time. And you're over here getting to play it for the first time, and you're just being
Matt,
a
you know I
sour
hate
puss
that
about
on
it.
a
Just being-
high-powered PC, buddy. That Matt
Exactly.
put together for you. Matt put
Yep.
together this illustrious PC, and
For
now
Hellblade?
you're
for
about
Hellblade.
to now you're about to
Like
bust that shit
Hellblade.
open. You're about
Yep.
to bust that shit, dude. That graphics card's gonna be busting. I'm telling you,
Yeah, buddy.
it's gonna be fucking busting.
It's gonna look phenomenal. Look.
I can't wait.
I'm excited for you to see it, but I really am.
Borderlands 4 is on the screen, and y'all are celebrating that you're going to make me play one of the worst games that's ever been made. A game that you
Okay.
can't even classify as a fucking game. It's
Okay.
a glorified movie.
That's weird because you're gonna play it like one. So, I think that's
Oh,
pretty
man.
strange.
Yeah, it's right up that Kojima alley. He's right.
Yep. You feel right at home with that.
He nailed it. He's like, it's a movie game, and it's like, man, we picked right for Loke, right?
We
Doesn't it
did.
feel
I
good?
feel actually really good about that.
I know. It feels like we nailed the genre, and he's just gonna be blown away. And I'm excited for you.
Bro, I'm stoked.
See, Vincent
Man.
Vega said, enjoy the barely a game Hellblade, and I think that's pretty cool because I heard
Mhm.
a lot of the same stuff about Death Stranding. So I think
Yep.
this is right up your fucking
Yep.
alley.
He's gonna enjoy it.
I mean, word for word, I heard the exact same thing about Death Stranding, right? Like, what do you do in that game? There's not much. It's a walking simulator. A lot of people said, right? Well,
Yeah.
goddamn,
Bro, they
We
Now you
love
try to
they
trigger
love
me
you.
again. You try to trigger me again, Ham. Okay.
no, I'm trying to pump you up.
get you excited.
Yeah,
It's having
man.
the
Stop
You're
being a-
already locked in, so now we're just making sure you get the big dub.
Mhm.
Rachie, is there a way to do a offline stream and then just put it on?
Nope,
Is that possible?
no.
I don't see what the point would be. I'm trying to play the game front to back.
No,
Alright,
there's a
fine.
reason it's called stream. It's because
Exactly.
it's going on while everybody's
Osha's
watching.
Osha, screw you, man. Stop it.
See, Asha, he says the same game.
Yep.
All right, I'll stream the damn thing. I'll stream it, Matt.
Oh, we
I'll
know.
stream
Let's
it. But
go.
I mean,
Let's go.
you're just doing what you're supposed to do. You don't have to.
this
Yep.
doesn't have to
I
be
always tell
fun.
my
though.
child, like, there's no reason for you to tell me that
Yep.
you're going to do something
That you told me
you're
to do.
supposed to do. Yeah, you know, like when she's like, Dad, I put my plate away. I'm like, yeah, okay. What you're supposed to do. Looks like, hey, Ham, I'm playing Hellblade next week at a convenient time for you. And I'm like, of course. That's just
Not in a convenient time. No, sir. It
but
will
the
not
thing
be
is, it is a
convenient
convenient time because all time is convenient for this.
Yep.
So Borderlands 4 is on the screen.
It sure is.
Anyone see anything they're interested in?
I like the cars so far. The cars look better.
Gunplay looks great, like always in Borderlands.
Yeah, the gunplay
And
does
designs
look
look
good.
cool.
Yeah, gunplay's has never been a problem at Borderlands. It's been some of the other stuff.
Yep.
And look at this person actually playing the game.
Yeah, you know they
Yeah.
didn't give this to IGN.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, is he lying? Look at this
Yeah,
dude,
look, did
he's
you?
moving. He is moving.
He's engaging entirely with the game, and that's exactly what I want to see when they're showing off a game. I don't know if you look. Did you see that Outer World stuff they showed for IGN?
I was out of town at that
Jesus.
time. Actually, I didn't see it. I was out
Jesus,
of town.
He was out
that
of town
was
making
horrendous.
He is making it. He is
Yeah,
out there.
he was in LA. He was recording at that time.
Putting in the good work.
That's out of continent, Ham. I don't
No,
even
that's Outer World.
No, that's out exactly. That's out of town, but you're just on the other side of the country. You were in LA doing some recording for IGN. In all seriousness, though, this is exactly when I'm seeing a game for the first time. I mean, I know it's not technically the first time for Borderlands, but like when I'm seeing like the first time real true gameplay, I'd like to see it from somebody who has a fucking
grapple
idea
hook.
of what they're doing. And
Mm.
IGN seemingly can't deliver that ever under any circumstance for some reason.
Definitely not consistently.
No,
Especially
dude,
on
they-
big titles. Like that's the problem is like the big titles. Sometimes it seems like they look like when they're playing, they sometimes just look like a lost kid in the mall.
Yeah.
I feel like the more veteran writers are the ones who get access to the big titles, and the more
Well, maybe they
veteran
should hire
writers-
somebody to play it while they write about it.
Yeah, they should have two separate jobs. Like you can
But
write
then that
about
would
it.
mean two codes. That would mean two codes, though.
We mean well, okay, but like, here's the thing: if a company's gonna trust you with showing off their game, which is insane that any company still trusts them at this point with that, but if they are, then you should probably put your best foot
This motherfucker's
forward
cooking. I love it.
to take
about
advantage of
reach,
that opportunity.
Matt, it's not about this person is cooking it. It's about how many people are going to get their eyeballs on our game
Well,
if we
here's the
put it
thing.
on TSWS versus if we put it on IGN.
Look, here's the thing. How many people like oh shit, I'm getting attacked. I didn't even realize. There's how many people are gonna watch?
I'm the one getting attacked. People paying so I can play
I'm
crap
playing
game.
no, you're getting treated. You're getting treated, Loke.
Yeah, you're getting treated like what are you talking about, Luke?
And you're being
Alright,
and you're
can I-
being
can I-
ungrateful.
Can I
You're
return
gaining-
the treat?
Gaining some
can I-
No.
Okay,
experience?
Matt,
That's fucking
Matt,
No.
Matt,
No.
you send me $10. I will send you back 20. I will super chat you $20.
And here's what I'll
30.
do, Loke.
Matt,
I'll
super chat
send you back all of that money.
$50. Okay,
And I'll
fine.
s-
$50, Matt.
Well,
I'll super
No,
chat
you
you
can't
$50 on
renegotiate.
your
Look, it's
channel.
already done.
Look, you can send me $1,000. I'm gonna send you back $1,000 and say Hellblade 2. That's it. You're gonna play Hellblade 2, Loke. It's what it is.
Yeah,
I think I think you should be very grateful that you're going to play that game.
All right, let's get back to Borderlands 3.
You should let it go, bud. Just deal with it.
Yeah, like
We,
it's
we,
happening, bud. You
we
like
can talk. We can talk off
No,
channel.
there's no talking.
there's
that
nothing
needs
to
to be
talk
done.
about.
There's nothing to talk about.
Unless you want to ask me what time works best for me. On when you're gonna stream it, then there's nothing to talk about.
And you know my answer to that. It's anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime is the right time.
All right, but Titkus Prime, welcome, says, I hope you guys enjoy the new Borderlands. This def a big pass for me. All right, so you're seeing stuff here. What are your thoughts? Are you gonna get
It looks like a fucking huge improvement so far
Over
from
the
what I've
third
seen
one.
with some of the animations. I mean, that's pretty cool right there.
That's hilarious.
Guns like a dog.
Yeah, I mean, you had weapons that you could throw at people, right? Before you had like some, you had a dude that could use turrets, Axon and also what's his name, the motherfucker that Kevin Hart played. God damn it, I'm fucking forgetting his name right off the top of my head.
Roland?
Yeah, Roland. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, and Roland. Those two characters had turrets just in separate games, right? And man, I'm excited to see what this game all has to bring. I'm a little nervous about the vehicles. I haven't seen enough so far about it, but they may have talked about it when they rolled it out early at the beginning of the stream. But I haven't really seen much about it yet. That thing that he slid into and made it fly forward, that's new. Yeah, all in all, I'm pretty excited for this game. I hope they did. I hope they make legendary weapons, because I'm seeing that they're talking about legendary weapons right now. I hope they make legendary weapons more impactful. Because I felt like last game sometimes like you get a legendary weapon and it just kind of felt like another weapon, right? And
Like
then
the BFG.
and then when that would happen, it made the other weapons that are lower quality seem even worse. You know what I mean? It just made it seem extra unnecessary to ever use something like that. So I just hope that they make the weapons make a little bit more sense, especially the higher tier weapons. It really looked like it just a moment ago. That dude had a gun that looked insane out there. So I'm interested in that. I'm also interested, after playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland and absolutely hating that game. And then on top of that, Borderlands 3, the story made me mad, not for reasons like a lot of people say, oh, woke this and why are two guys kissing? Like, I don't really care about that. It just, like, the story itself just kind of stunk. Like, they took out some of my favorite characters. One of my actual favorite character literally died in that game. And then they introduced a new character, which I think is this person that's on the screen right now, but younger, possibly. I don't know if that's for sure. But she was mad annoying. That little girl was super.
Yeah, it was very
annoying.
mouthy.
Right. And
Someone thought she was funny.
she tried to be funny while being very unhelpful. And it was just it just made the game frustrating, especially knowing that I had to deal and take care of her after my favorite person in the game died. Like, that's how it happened. It's like my favorite person in the game dies, and that's what I'm left with, is this new terrible character. And I'm not exactly saying she needs to be out of the game. I just think she needs to do better, right? Because maybe she was, a juvenile, just a stupid juvenile, and then you becoming a better adult. I think they could do that with that character. That wouldn't bother me. I just don't want it to be the same kid, but now an adult that acts the exact same, because she felt so worthless.
Yeah. But you guys are both getting it day one then.
I'm buying it. I don't know what Matt's doing, but I'm
Yeah, Ham's buying it. We game shares, so I'll play it. Like I'm always someone who's enjoyed the gameplay of Borderlands, but I've never been like a massive fan of it to where I'm there day one for it. I think the only one I've ever bought day one was 3. Maybe 2 also, because me and my buddy really enjoyed 1. But I never really hardcore got into it.
I did.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this.
yeah.
This is exciting. It's not GTA exciting, but I don't think a lot of like any games can really be like that. But like it's like it's something that I'm looking forward to more than most games that are announced right now.
I'm also getting this one day one. It's Borderlands. What are we talking about? What are we like? The only thing, like you said, Ham, unless this thing is coming out the same like 2 weeks before after GTA. Other than that, I'm getting Borderlands. I might not finish it, but it's Borderlands. What are we doing? Obviously, I'm getting it.
This looks nuts.
Yeah, that boss fight looks crazy. But they're talking a lot. Let's see if the music is gone or if it's.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
That's the end. I'm guessing. I still don't understand. Like, I guess it's because they have the marketing deal, but that's a state of play. It didn't feel like a state of play.
No, that went by pretty quick.
And like this is pretty petty, fellas. This is pretty petty.
Well, PlayStation always does that. Like they've always done the thing. Like if it's a multi-platform game, yeah, it's only coming to PS5. They always do that.
Even though
I agree, though. I agree. It's petty, but it's also like, am I surprised?
It's
not really
smart. It's petty,
Yeah,
but
it's just
smart,
business.
right?
It's just business. They don't want you to know that it's coming on. They don't gain anything from you buying that shit on Xbox. They want you buying it on PlayStation.
Yeah, McDonald's ain't gonna advertise they get the same beef as Burger King or something like that, right? Like they ain't gonna tell you that. They're gonna be like, get it at McDonald's or whatever analogy you want to use, right? They don't want to admit that they like Doze and Gabbana ain't gonna admit that they get the same fucking linens as some cheap store bought whatever, like a JC Penney or something like that. They're not gonna put, oh yeah, we get the same thing. We get the same materials as your basic name brand stuff. But I mean, that's the truth 9 times out of 10. Like even if you go to your local pharmacy, there's a name brand one, and then there's the one that everybody else actually buys. That's the knockoff, but does the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's just PlayStation being PlayStation. Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Loke's offline now. You got to restart your shit, bud. But yeah, I could see his thing moving, but nobody, including us, can hear you.
I gave you $10, Luke, to play.
Yeah. Look at him. He's probably complaining, but we can't hear him, so that's fine. You see that? You see that dot just bumping?
Yeah.
And look at he's got a lot to say, but nobody's hearing it. I don't even think he can hear us.
He can hear me.
Well.
Thank you very much. Right. I love the content.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I hear him.
Well, you should let him know that he is offline.
You're offline, Loke, right now, by the way. Oh, he just left.
Okay, cool. Yep. Hopefully he's coming back. Did you end up watching Last of Us?
Watched it right before the show, buddy.
My goodness. All right. The most recent episode was not near as entertaining as the last two, but
Yeah.
it's like but it's one of those things where it was bound to happen sometime.
You guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I hear you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
About what?
Well, whatever it is that you were saying.
We were talking about Last of Us. I'm pretty sure you don't want to.
Oh shit! All right, y'all have a good one. I'll see you.
Oh, is there nothing else that you wanted to talk about?
Nah, I'm good. Bye bye.
You want to let us know when your stream?
When you're gonna stream? Yeah.
Sleep well, gentlemen.
I
Chat,
think you
thank
should
you
let
so
us
much
know about that.
for
Especially
the
the
comments.
chat. The chat's dying to know about that.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much
you
for the
should.
super chats. I appreciate everyone here except for Matt Likes Games.
Stand on
Y'all
business,
have a
look.
good
Come on.
one.
That's not what he told me
Goodbye.
just a second ago.
Goodbye.
He said, "Great job, Matt. That's great content." That is literally what he said a second ago. And then he just bailed. He's gonna pretend like yep, that's Loke.
Yeah,
That's that snake in the grass.
There's that snake in the grass.
That
Right
is
where
Loke.
we fucking left them. Fucking bozo. God damn it. But now we're at the time of the show that pretty much, we're winding down, getting towards the end, and we're here to talk now about the Last of Us. If you watched the most recent episode, stick around. We're going to talk a little bit about it. If you haven't and don't want any spoilers, thanks for watching. But anyways, we'll try not to spoil too much. There's really not a whole lot to spoil.
Yeah.
In this one, if I'm being quite honest. But thoughts, Matt. So this episode of The Last of Us was more or less figuring out intel, right? Of like where the people went, like what's kind of going down at the home base, what they want to do about it. What were your kind of thoughts? What was a big moment? What was maybe a low moment if you had one?
See, that's so tough because I'm with you. What you said up front is that this episode was like this. It sounds like a dick thing to say. This is my least favorite episode, and not because it was bad or anything. It's just because like the first two episodes were like a really good balance of story and action. This was this was a great story, but a story I've already seen. Though I'll say to their credit, it was like they did a solid job adding like more context and other things like the situation with them actually voting on whether or not to go out and look for the crew of people. Like that was cool that they added that. I'll say this, I enjoy that psychiatrist character. She's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um
I agree.
I'll say that for sure. I just think it was kind of a slow episode, but I think it was probably necessary given everything that happened in the last episode. Also, if you played the game, that's kind of how the part after that was just kind of like an hour or two of just kind of relaxing a little bit. Was in the game, so it doesn't surprise me that's how they did this episode. And then of course, the one thing I guess surprised me was that we met that one group, or I'm assuming that one group. I forget what they're called in the game. Can't remember if they called them like scabs or something in the game. But like the group that got like in the episode,
Yeah, I
they
know.
were whistling and shit, and
Right.
then they got torn to shit by the WLF. We met them early, a lot earlier than I remember meeting them in the game, which I thought was cool. But they went out bad. They went out very bad. But if I have to give that episode a rating, I give it 7.5. And you know, like I said, story's good, but I've already seen it. It's kind of what I expected. They added some cool parts. I like the psychiatrist. She had a decent amount of parts in this episode, so that was cool. But definitely the slowest episode of the season so far.
Okay, I'm gonna start out with my score. I give that episode a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think it was like a terrible episode, or else I would have gave it a much lower score. I just thought it was just all info and not really what I was expecting, seeing that they started off the first two episodes like they did. I was expecting some sort of encounter in the woods
Yeah.
when they were doing all that whistling. Like I was expecting some sort of encounter to happen. I thought it was silly that they were outside and old girl started puking and she said it was because of the stench. And I was like, hold on a second. Just like an episode ago or two, you were in a confined house that couldn't have smelled good.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was a little out of character and kind of weird and didn't make sense from the situation that they've been living around
Well,
for so long.
yeah. Well, I think they're setting that up because in the game she ends up being, I mean,
Pregnant.
spoiler alert. Yeah, in the game she ends up being pregnant, and I think they're kind of just setting that up. But without the context, I agree. It's like it's weird that that would make you feel some type of way whenever you were just kind of in a bloodbath walking back into your town.
Yeah, because
Bodies
it's not
everywhere.
that it it's not that she just puked, it's also the sense of worry that she had. And it's like, wait a second, like that's your job usually is to go out and see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
scared now?
Yeah.
Right. And I thought it was a little wild. And I guess they couldn't take too much time on it, but it was just to me a little wild how easy they left their own camp when everybody knew what they were gonna do, pretty much. And no
Oh
one
yeah.
cared. Yeah. No one cared to like really stop them. It almost seemed like there was nobody on like on border watch when they just got hit.
Yep. It was pretty easy for them to slip out.
They just walked right the fuck out. And I was just like, well, why aren't people able to walk the fuck in like
Yeah, that's a good point.
that? But I mean, that was kind of and also I wanted to see like a snippet or something of Abby and where she was and what they were doing. Cause I feel like the radio silence of it in the next episode was kind of weird because they were so involved in the last episode. I would have expected to see like just even if it was right at the end of the episode where they were panning out and showing like the like militia or whatever that
Yeah.
was there. I was thinking that like you would see who she like talks to or like why she wanted to get there so quickly or settling in or something. I maybe that's saved for next week's episode, but I don't know. I was just
Sure.
expecting to see like each time there was like a little like end of a scene going into the next scene. I always expected Abby to be in that next scene, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah, I
damn,
get that.
because I remember in the game after that after that happens with Joel and everything, you kind of get thrusted into Abby.
Yeah. They show you a little bit of Abby after that. Uh, do you know what? It's funny you said it. The next season. Now that I think about the layout of Last of Us Part Two, the next season will probably be that whole Abby story. How
You're
like
probably right.
Yeah, second season's gonna be Allie going after Abby. They're gonna meet eventually. It's gonna end how it ends in the game. And then the second season or the third season will probably be right where the game picks up as Abby. And it's
As they're
probably
leaving the house.
yeah, probably Abby's whole fucking thing. So I'm interested to see how they do it. This episode, it wasn't the best episode. I thought it did what it needed to do. Um, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. And what's
You,
good about that is I watched it today instead of Sunday, so I don't have to wait that much longer to get to the next episode.
you know, I find it funny that you brought that way of producing the show up because there's another show. I'm not sure if anybody here has seen it, but there's a show called Power. 50 Cent made that
Mhm.
show, right? Or he produced that show. Like he is the executive producer of that show. I'm pretty sure like he was a big time like writer or something of that show. But
Mhm.
but I know that he owns that IP. And he in the end of the last season of Power Book 1, which is just called Power. They have a very similar way of what you just described for Last of Us, except it's not for a season. It's just like the last like 5 episodes where they replay the same day with like 5 different characters. But at the
Okay.
end of but the last character is the one that is essentially like responsible or did something bad, right? And you get to
Yeah.
see it fully play out. Like the last part that kept getting kind of cut out in every other episode played out in the last episode. And it was pretty cool how that happened. So I'm interested in how the Last of Us TV show is going to do that, but they're not doing that with an episode, or we're not even sure if they're even doing this, right? But like
Yeah, yeah.
speculation would say that kind of makes sense, right? So like if they did do that, I'm just wondering how that would carry and if people would be and if people would reciprocate or like understand that these are two of the same stories or this is the same story just in two different eyes in two different seasons which
Yeah.
doesn't happen like ever. You never really get a season that's the same story as the next season just in a different point of view.
Yeah. I'm super
It'd
intrigued.
be amazing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing: we're definitely getting an Abby part of this story. Whether that's an episode, whether that's the whole fucking season, we're definitely getting it. So, I mean, I'm I'm interested to see what that looks like, especially compared to what we're doing now. Because, like the first, again, this episode, like I said, and you said it's like not much action in this episode at all. Versus the first two episodes, there's a lot of action in those first two episodes. I'm interested to see, and like from playing the game, like I feel like playing as Ellie in the game was like there was definitely action, but it was like I don't know, it felt a little bit slower versus when you get Abby, like one of the first things they do is give you like a fucking assault rifle. It's like one of the first things you get when you're Abby, and like it's just like it's just pure action with Abby's story. So I'm
He's
interested to
also
see
set up
like
more as like a military type of character compared to
exactly
Ellie, right?
exactly. So I'm interested to see how much more action, if any more action, they do for Abby because in the game it was a lot more. So I'm interested to see what they do whenever they do that, whether it's an episode or a whole season. I'm really interested to see how the action stacks up compared to what we've seen so far of this season.
No doubt. All right. Well, that's pretty. I mean, we pretty much summed up the whole episode right there. So I'm pretty much going to call it.
Yeah.
From that, there's not a whole lot more to talk about. This episode was pretty much, like I said, a recon episode, if anything. Like a recon and who's coming with me type episode is all it really was.
Yep.
But anyways, thanks everybody for showing up, supporting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed enough to hit the like button and hopefully you can continue to come support us. We'll be back again, or at least I'm going to be back tomorrow to for sure do some Mass Effect since I missed Tuesday. I was just so freaking tired yesterday. I just couldn't do it. And I already thought Monday was Tuesday the previous day. Yeah, I just needed to get some sleep. So I just relaxed yesterday. But tomorrow for sure some Mass Effect. And then as usual Friday, Bull Sitting, me, Cozy, Matt, Loke, Mental 9R, if you can come through. I haven't had a guest for a little while, so I might ask around and see if anybody wants to slide through. But regardless, we're going to be there. So hopefully you guys come through, check us out. Matt, you have some stuff that you're working on. Go ahead and let them know. And
Yeah,
get yourself out on the way.
for sure. So I will say tonight, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the show tonight. I'm gonna try, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Why?
But
Is it personal?
it's just I gotta help my mom with something tonight.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, you mentioned I got stuff I'm working on. I do. I'm gonna record a video for Far Cry 4. There's a new update for that on next gen consoles, so I'll record a video for that. But in the background, I'm working on an Oblivion video. I'm still trying to nail down exactly how I'm gonna tackle it. Um, I don't know if I want to make it a review because I'm nowhere near beating the game. Maybe impressions mixed in with some other things, but I am working on an
You can
Oblivion
do
video.
impressions
That'll
parts. An impression in parts.
exactly, and that's because I told you about this one dude I follow on YouTube who kind of does that, and that's kind of where I'm getting my thought process from. So shout out to I think his name is Renfall on YouTube. Shout out to him. But yeah, I'll have that out next week. This week will be a Far Cry 4 video, and then Friday I'll be on Ham's show, both sitting 4 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to that.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, Far Cry 4 got a update for all current generation consoles to be 60
Oh yeah,
FPS. So yes, that includes Series S as well. I believe there's like a resolution update to the game.
yep.
The one thing that I wish they'd update is letting you play all the missions with your partner.
That would be
Because
fantastic.
that part of the game stinks.
It's a bummer that
Yeah,
is
like me
not.
and Matt played hours of that game without realizing that hey,
You
there
were
are
doing
no main
nothing.
missions here because Matt was always asking, so what are we supposed to do? And I was like, I guess we'll just go take over this thing because I don't see on the map where we're supposed to go. And then I logged in playing on my own and realized that there was a marker telling me where to
Mhm.
go. And then I looked it up on Google and it says, yeah, you can do any side mission or missions that ask for multiplayer in case you are under leveled, or else, yeah, you gotta play it single player to actually beat the game. And I was like, that's silly.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I'll also say Far Cry 4 is in Game Pass, which I didn't know.
Yep.
So if you have Game Pass and you want to try out the update, then there you go. I did not know it was in Game Pass. I thought it was just 5 and 6 in Game Pass, but no.
No.
New Dawn, and 4. So
New Down 4,
yeah.
5, and 6.
Yeah. Check it out. Check it out. It's really cool. And it looks the resolution boost is so nice. It was very
Primal might be
necessary
in
for
there
the game.
too.
I don't know if Primal is, but it might be. It's worth checking.
All right. Well, anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks everybody for showing up, showing love and whatnot. Sapo, I see that you asked about how the Sony deep dive. It looked pretty good for Borderlands, but that's what I expected. I personally don't think they needed to do a deep dive, but they got marketing rights, so they're just exercising what they were able to take advantage of. So can't really blame them for that. I just wish they would have made the event bigger and added Ghost of Yote in there since they decided to just eject it into nothing. Anyways, it's your boy Ham Solo getting out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, if not Friday. Thanks for showing up. Make sure you hit that like button if you're new, subscribe, and we will see you guys later. Peace out.
See ya.